Welcome to our second look after last week's stream at the newly patched content that was introduced to Baba Is You with the Baba Make Level content update that introduced a level editor as well as some substantial new puzzle content in the form of 2 campaigns. We showed off a bit of the museum campaign last week, which mostly consisted of test content or cut content from the main game. Today we're going to look at the new adventures level pack that came in, which introduces a lot of the new mechanics that were first introduced in last week's patch, and we're also going to take a look at any custom levels that may come up. But before we do that, I want to pull off a level that was kind of submitted to me privately and separately, and which I'm very happy to feature on stream. So I previously playtested the earliest version of this, but we're going to look at version 1.1 of a level called Red Baba, Blue Baba, which is by Nabuz, somebody who my viewers from Mario Maker will recognize as one of the major contributors to the YMM Years of Mario Maker projects, and is a bit of a specialist in on and off switch contraptions in Mario Maker 2 as well. So wanted to show off and this latest implementation of a kind of on-off idea that was implemented in this game. And welcome, Blue Blur. This game is Baba Is You. Let me exit to... well, I'll exit to the title screen later on. But let me punch in the level code in the chat as well for anybody who might have this game and wants to look this up later. So this is a custom level, once again, by Nabuz, one of our occasional viewers on the stream, as well as a friend from the Mario Maker community. And we've got a couple of conditions here that we should be paying attention to. The key is, of course, going to eventually lead us through the door, which is shut and stop. Everything outside the wall, as usual, is just the preset conditions in the game. Now, the interesting thing about this level is that there's, like the previous version, a lot of mechanics that are hidden off screen. And I believe that if you pause, the rules that are off screen are actually hidden as well. As you can see, the rules that are visible are purely the ones that are available within the playable space of the level. Now, I haven't played too much with the editor to figure out how that works if you want to hide off-screen rules, but we'll see very soon that that's going to be one of the things in play over here. Now, the goal, of course, is going to be flag as win, which is on the top right. And we can see that key is not currently push. So we need to create key as push so we can push the key. In order to do that, I believe we need to switch states. Orb is question mark. Orb is a red-blue switch, which seems to be the unique mechanical contribution of this level. And yeah, when I played the original version of this off-stream, I thought it immediately reminded me of games like Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. Not hitting the switch with a boomerang, of course, but really the same kind of principle. Now, we want key as push, and we want the key as push to hit the door that is on the left. So, puzzle-wise, fairly simple, but it's definitely very interesting to look at from a technical perspective. Now, we need to set this up in such a way that the key will be a little more easily pushable. So let's just restack all of this. Open this up, pop the door. Now, hitting the orb now over here is going to have the same switching mechanic, and that is going to allow me to escort the orb over here. So, as you can see, the next interaction that we need to deal with is going to be to figure out how to do state switching over on the right side, and the way to do that will be to use orb as push and to push the orb. Interestingly enough, yeah, if you look at the spacing here, it does imply very clearly that that's how you push the orb. Now, at this point, Key is push is no longer relevant because there is no key. So the key token we can just get safely out of the way unless we need it to push something else. Notice that if you do orb is push, the orb is no longer usable as an object that you can stand on, much like the teleport-based mechanics that are in the main game. Push overrides any of those overlaps. So what we need to do is we need to deactivate orb is push, and it also means that we'll need the text orb is push to be something that we can manipulate over on this end and flick on and off, which positionally is going to take a moment to set up. But let's get the orb out of the way first. I think that we find the trick now is to set up orb is push in such a way that we can hit it from both directions when popping back and forth. Likely we'll need to stack it vertically. But the issue is that we need to be able to push it one way, push back the other, and still leave this passage open for traveling. But yeah, you just need to deactivate it once. Activate orb is push, and then have enough space to work with, which... well, we'll see how that works. Because, yeah, if you deactivate it once, you do, in fact, have to activate it again. So... we need some way to make this reversible then. And I think I should know how to do it. But we'll need to not have push against the wall, perhaps. Or if we do have it against a wall, well, let's see. Yeah, because if you touch the orb, you need orb is push to be disabled, and then you need to re-enable. Let me think about this for a moment. In spite of having playtested an early version of this, I have to reconstruct a bit of it here. Yeah, because you need to push the orb over to this side and reactivate it. That's okay, I think. Except you need to deactivate it one more time after that. Which, with orb in the top corner, is not going to be what we want. We'd want this to still be movable somehow. And silver gold, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Orb is push. Probably want to create a little more space here, actually. Just... yeah, because there's no reason to take it away from the wall after we've pushed it through, so I might need to use orb is push sort of in this space here to have a little more room to work with. So for example, we can take orb is push like that. Of course, in order to do that, we would have needed orb to be in a more advantageous position. This is a level that was privately sent to me. It's by somebody who I know from Super Mario Maker. If you do have a viewer level for me, I am willing to take it after this. My plan is to kind of swap between viewer levels and the New Adventures campaign, which I haven't even looked at yet as I go. So yeah, this is all about positioning the text, and if only I could sort that out. I remember this being the stumbling block the first time I playtested this as well in the earlier implementation. But you need to deactivate, reactivate. Supposing that orb is push has been somehow repositioned over here. Yeah, I mean, the orb can be in the top corner. There's no reason why it needs to be over there. The other thing, too, is that orb is push. You don't actually need to reposition orb after this, I don't think. Whoops, let's push it down this way. Yeah, because you need to push the orb Yeah, you actually don't need to reposition Orbis Push. You can just do this, and that's simple. And yeah, Silver Gold, very happy to take that code if you have it. I'll even give you the code for the one I just played, in case you're curious. I did type it in the chat earlier, but I'll just punch that in for any latecomers. But yeah, let me know what your code is. I'd be happy to try this out and give you a proper test. Yeah, I've seen that, you know, the streaming scene for this game is obviously a little bit on the quieter side, and I don't know if many people have been doing video playtests. I discovered off stream as well that this is not case sensitive. You do need to type in a dash, but lowercase is perfectly fine. So anyway, here's a Frog in a Bog, which is a micro challenge. Let's save it and play it. And yeah, I am mainly a Mario Maker streamer, and so it's kind of nice to come to this game as well and see what people have been making in it. Even though it is a much quieter scene, of course. Okay, so this is very much a micro puzzle, as you can see from everything being blown up close. We get to manipulate Frog and text, and Baba is me, of course. We'll probably... well, Bog is stop. We can probably transform Bog into something else. You know, like Bog is Frog or something, but we'd have to do that without destroying Baba is you. And obviously Frog is not conditioned by anything, so Baba is you can also be pushed all the way here, but then that's not reversible. The thing is, Frog is you is fine. And Frog is you actually allows me to manipulate quite a lot of other things. Except now I'm kind of stopped by text over here, so. You feel this is a difficult level? Yeah, that's fine. We'll look at it until we crack it. I've done lots of puzzles in Mario Maker before that have sometimes taken me like an hour or more. Especially the ones that come down to some very simple elements in a small space. And thank you for the follow. And yeah, I'm hoping to do Baba is you at least every now and then when it comes to streaming, so. I'm wondering about what I'm going to do with the text transformation. Because right now, that's not quite clear to me just yet. Now, I can use Frog to disable is, but there's no reason to do that. Text. Let's see here. I feel like I want to transform Bog somehow, but that until I find some way to reposition I mean, like, you know, if we do this, problem is that text becomes obstructed. But text, if you push it out of the way afterwards and have a way to wrap around it, you can probably do something with that. So Bog is stop. I mean, we need something to remove this or transform the Bog into something else. We only have one other is to work with. The text is a bit of a missing link right now in terms of what I would want to transform into text. You could transform the Bog into text, but the issue is that text by default is push when it's not set to float. And so I'll have to think about this. Baba is you can go all the way to the left as well. But then, yeah, Frog, you can't really push around this corner though. So the only sort of starting interaction I can see so far is Frog is you, which still allows me to have some control. And I don't know if there's much else I can do just yet. You can continue to push the Frog, obviously. You can't really get around to the right side. Nor can you find a space to do text as you. However, one thing you can do is position an object in front of is you, and then do an is text. So for example, if you have is you on top of Bog, then you can transform that to something like you would think about a push that would wind up pushing a block of text in such a way that you activate, like, you know, if you have the actual Baba object or Frog object in front of is you, and then you transform it into text, then you might be able to do something with that. So. But yeah, this is interesting in that you're working with very few elements here. And like you said, it's in some ways the most elegant kind of puzzle that really makes you think about how you have to do things very inventively with a tight set of constraints. So Baba is you. I wonder if we can do... like a text is you interaction, because text is you would be interesting in that it would allow you to move Bogus stop out of the way. Because if Bogus stop, then if text is you, then your first move down would move Bog down, it would move stop down, but it would leave the is up there. And yeah, Silver Gold, there are a few people I know in Mario Maker who do puzzles of exactly that style, that they make harder puzzles than just about anybody else, but they do so with this really stripped down configuration where you only have so many options, or so it seems, and so you really have to think outside the box when it comes to the elements that are available to you. I feel like text is you is going to be a breakthrough here if I can set it up, because text is you is going to allow me to get Bogus stop out of the way. It's the only thing I can think of to get Bogus stop out of the way. But I think what that would require is some kind of use of the Frog to change that positioning. So for example, if you had text as you, which you can't do here, you might be able to... Oh, you know what? You can also do... I mean, text as Frog doesn't seem particularly useful, except text as Frog would just transform everything into a condition that's unwinnable, because you would do this. But I feel like if you do something like, you know, transform Bog as Frog or something like that, like if you position the is on the cross, and you have some kind of push that still has an is you interaction that allows you to continue playing, then that might be the key. But and yeah, Blue Blur, you can definitely reverse or undo anything in this game. Like, you can undo many steps up to a certain stack just with a click of a button, and most puzzles depend on that mechanic. You can also do a full restart whenever you want. And yeah, Blue Blur, just force the browser closed. It's probably a malicious website playing a trick on you. Because there are websites that will try to push an alert to your phone, or pop up an alert in your browser, or you know, get you to, like, trick you into enabling some kind of notification or something like that. It's really just a trick, usually. It's unlikely that your phone is actually compromised. If we can figure out how to set up something like this and still do something is you, then we might be in business. So we've got a couple of leads so far. We can do something to manipulate text with text is you. We can do something to transform the bog. If we want to kill the bog, it's not that way instead. But fundamentally, I still need to think about how the is you condition is going to be maintained when I only have access to one is. If there's going to be some really weird pushing configuration that I need to make happen. We know how to do frog as you. That's the most immediately available thing that I can interact with. And one of the more promising things, I would think. But that, from that direction, it's not going to do anything for me right now. Here, you can't manipulate anything except is, and it's not really going to go in the right direction, so I don't think that's going to do anything for me here. So yeah, we can do bog as frog. We can... If we can figure out how to do frog as you, but having repositioned the frog already somewhere else... you know what? I think we probably could do text as you. The issue is getting around this kind of corner. Because let's say we pushed Baba is you back here. Is there a way... I mean, the thing is, if you have a way to do, like, Baba is text and text is you at the same time, then... well, no, you wouldn't want to do that because you would lose access to Baba. We still only have access to one is, because one thing that does immediately come to mind is the kind of split interaction that is demonstrated in the main game, which I always think of as the prison level interaction, where you can, if you're controlling two characters, use them to split apart an existing string. But I don't think that setup is really going to be relevant here. Yeah, you do frog like this. Let's say you push text first. Okay, let's say you push text first, and then you push frog as you, and then you use the frog to push text. Now, can we do something here? We can continue to push frog over here. And that's the end of that. Can we push frog in any other direction, perhaps? I really would like to make text as you happen, that's the thing. The other thing that's neat about text as you is that if you can make it happen, then text as you is going to allow you to move the entire text as you block by itself, but then use the corners to reposition the elements. And yeah, eventually you'll want something is win, but you'll want it in such a way that text is overlapping with the bog. So for example, you could do like text is you and set it up in such a way that the text all gravitates up to the win. And yeah, it's almost certainly a scam, Blue Blur. Just to prey on end-user panic. If we can reposition the text string, we can do Baba as text. No, we can't. I don't see the point of doing that. We can do Baba as frog, it's just that we wouldn't have an is you anymore. Bog is frog. And the cat calmed me from the scam. Well, yeah, that's certainly one way to fix problems. If we can figure out some way to reposition Baba and the frog in such a way that you can kind of switch freely between the two, that would be great. Currently I don't see it. There are a lot of corners that aren't really going to cooperate too much with me here. Like you can do frog as you. This might take some thinking. But that's what this game is about. So, you can do bog as frog. Frog in a bog is the title, which is quite nice. We definitely need to get rid of bog as stop. Like I was saying, I think the best way to do that is to either transform the bog or to use text as you to move everything. Now the question is, can I do some kind of is you that gets you into a vertical configuration? I don't know, because that requires two moves somehow to switch Baba is you. Although one way to do it is, so one of the frequent motifs that you see in the main game is that you make a cross using the word is. If you can make a cross, then maybe there's some kind of single maneuver that allows you to create an is you that allows you to keep walking. So for example, if you have like a text interaction that allows you to place Baba or the frog in a certain location where you transform them into text. Yeah, so bog, yeah, it's the green part over here, blue blur. That's all it is. So when it says bog is stopped, that just means that you can't push objects through and you can't walk through. So we need to disable it somehow, because otherwise we don't have access to the win condition that is on the top left. Okay, so what ideas do we have so far? We have transforming into a frog. We have transforming the bog into a frog. We have finding eventually some way to move text, although the issue is that with the initial configuration here, I don't know how to actually access the text string in a way that will make it pushable. Can we actually do like frog is text and then position the frog text somehow? You know what? We're gonna do it. Frog is text. Let's do that. Okay, so now we have access to two frogs. We have no frog objects. That is probably not good, but it might be fine, because the idea is that we can transform something back into a frog. We can transform Baba into a frog, for instance, which would be practically mythical. I still need text as you somehow, and so we know how to do frog as text. We know how to do bog as frog, but it freezes your movement, which means it's not going to be useful. Can we do text as frog? Yes, we can, but that's not useful because it freezes everything on the screen. So we know how to transform... I mean, we can do bog as text. I don't know why I didn't consider that earlier, but... Or can we? Yeah, you would need to push like this, I think. Except you can't really go around. Like, you would need to do this. You would need to do this. Then you push this back. Push it like this. and you create bog as text, but the problem is that there's nothing that's is you. However, here it is. Text is you. Now we figure out how to do the win condition. There we go. We disabled it. The problem is that now we need to set up the is win in a way that makes sense. And we would probably need to figure out how to disable text as you. Because the problem currently is that I don't have a way to transform is you back into anything else. However, we can just transform anything into is win, and the text should overlap with that just fine. So we transform Baba into a frog, okay, which we got 2 frogs. We can probably just do some kind of block movement like this to eventually get win to be moved accordingly. We shouldn't just do that randomly. I'm just kind of demonstrating that as part of a solution. But anyway, we have a major breakthrough here. Let me just show you how that looked once again. The idea is that we need to get the frog out of the way first. And we'll retrace this in case there's some small adjustment that I need to make early on in order to make this work. But the principle here is that you go text as you. You might have to move text as you in advance before you do something with bog as stop. Because notice how bog as stop. So one of the important things to know about this game is that movement resolves before the new rules that are created. So this is the step that we're missing. That we need to manipulate the fact that the wall is still active on this turn. So for example, if you do down, you disable bog as stop, but notice how text as you remains in place because bog as stop was still active at the point of movement. So the movement happens first, the rule resolution happens second. And that's really important because we need to figure out now how to manipulate bog as stop and still get is you to work out in a way that is satisfying. Now, can I do bog is you? Only if I find some way to do it in the vertical configuration, I think, and I don't think I can. Because the issue with moving the bog text down is that, like, I might be able to do it if I'm transforming something else into is you first. Such as Baba, for instance. But when you disable bog as stop, then you run into some issues. Now, here's one thing that you can do. Is that you can actually make something else is stop, which would be really interesting. That if you do like is stop and then you find some way to like make frog is stop or Baba is stop, then you can still have a block that's available somewhere in the middle in order for you to do more text repositioning and manipulation. So that's one thing we should keep in mind, that if you actually disable is stop, you might still be able to use stop for some reason. And that would actually be really helpful because it would allow you to use Baba and the frog somehow, which we're actually kind of underusing right now. Like, there are some things mechanically that we should be able to do that we have not done yet. And because I've not been thinking about how to actually use the frog. Like, the frog we haven't used at all because of the way that we repositioned the frog text right at the start. So let's think about how to manipulate is you then. So we have this configuration. Notice that if you... Notice that you can actually reactivate bog as stop anytime you want. But text is you remains active if you do that. So if you do that, you can actually do tons of repositioning. And because of the way that bog is stop, it still works. So we're going to be finding something that works according to this logic. That not only do you disable bog is stop from its initial position. Let's go back to it. So this is the initial position. You can disable bog is stop, but then you can reactivate bog is stop somewhere else in a way that the next collision helps you. So with that in mind, let's redo bog is stop over here, for instance. And then, if you do it cleverly, it's always going to happen against a top row. So it's going to be like you move up in one of these positions. But if you do it in precisely the right location, then bog is stop is able to reactivate and create a new is you. So I think what I want to do is I actually want to move like this. And now Baba is you. Problem with Baba is you in this position is that I've locked off my access to a ton of stuff because everything is bunched up in a corner. So I probably don't want that corner movement like that. I probably want to use bog and stop strategically to create something new. But yeah, you can do tons of stuff here. So now frog is you, for instance. Win is still kind of out of the way because we can't disable bog and stop currently. To disable bog and stop, we need to be text as you, I think, unless we have bog and stop in a pushable position, which it rarely will be on the top row because the top row doesn't really allow you to walk around very much. Yeah, so like you can't really do anything with bog is stop now because if it's bunched up in the top, that's game over for that idea. This is a really flexible puzzle, which means that we have to undo quite a bit, I think, because it's very easy to get into a deep red herring or dead end where the text is no longer in a winnable position, I think, because it's not completely reversible, depending on how you rearrange things, if I understand it correctly. So let me think about this. Ultimately, what kind of win condition do we want? Whoops. We want either Baba or frog to be set to win. I'm pretty sure. We don't want to bunch up everything over to the right like this because bog is stop gets you into trouble. But if we reposition win, then we might be in business. Yeah, the second half is super loose. Yeah, once you get text as you, because text as you can just do so much stuff. But at the same time, you know, there's definitely a pretty tight series of constraints from the bog positioning here in terms of what kind of reconfigurations you can do. Like you can move or you can move everything relative to win, like that. And yeah, as you can see, we're kind of moving win slowly. And if I can block win, like if I can block win and move it way out of the way to the right side, then maybe we have an idea. So here's something that we can do. For instance, that if we have something that is you and we have text as win, then we're in really good shape. If alternatively we reposition win so much that, like, the idea is to get as many objects as we can to the left of win so we can eventually replace bog as stop with bog as win, for instance. But well, we'll see what we can do. The other thing about Bog is stop is that if we reposition things such that something else is stop, so for example, if we do like frog is stop, then we have a lot more flexibility as well. So we can do some things here like Baba is win, for instance, but currently we don't have something for is you. Like, if we can bunch up the is together like this and still have some movement, then we might be in good shape. No, Blue Blur, you can't do you as win. Here's why. Notice how the words stop, win, and you are all on colored backgrounds. Colored backgrounds means that they can only be at the end of the logical sentence. So you can do something is stop, but you can't do stop is something. The same thing works with you. The only thing that you does is it affects which element you are controlling when you move around with the D-pad. So, I think the idea is that we want to find some way to set up either Bog is win, or, wow, this is interesting. Everything is too bunched up, though. If we can get more elements to the left and do Baba is you somewhere, perhaps. Or Frog is you in a more central and open position, such that blocks can actually be pushed apart. So we moved win way out of the way. I actually don't even remember how I did it, but yeah, just more elements. Like if we move all this stuff, we actually almost have Bog as a win. The problem is that we don't want to disable text as you. We can do Bog as you, actually, which is interesting. Whoops, no, wrong way. Maybe we can't. I was hoping to do Bog as you, but you need some additional element above Bog. Let's see. Text is stop. Now there's no more is you. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to do this systematically because it's so flexible. There's so much you can do. But notice how now we have a Bog above is, which allows us to make the cross. The cross will be interesting because it potentially allows me to reposition win if I transform back into Baba or Frog in a graceful manner. I haven't really used Baba and Frog in conjunction, that's the thing, and I feel like that's a missing piece of the puzzle that I don't fully understand yet. That we can do some kind of reposition for Baba as Frog. I think we'd better start this one over and just start from a fresh position, because I've messed that one up so incredibly badly at this point. Anyway, opening interaction here is going to be fairly simple. Push back, push text, quality humor, welcome. And, oh wait, wanted text is you. So we know how to manipulate win quite a ways over to the right. What I want to do is eventually set up Baba is you. The way that I would do that is you would need something on top of the left side stack. And the way you do that is, well, you can do win, for instance, and do, like, Baba is you. Problem is the way that everything is stacked up top right now, but here you can do probably quite a bit with Baba. Look at this. You can really bog things down. Except you don't want to do that because if you create too much text, you run into some real problems with well, with all the text being push. You can do Bog as Frog, but right now Bog and Frog, you know, doesn't really matter too much. But anyway, between Bog, Frog, and text, we actually have access to all of that right now in terms of switching them around. So if you wanted to do Bog as Frog, you could. I feel like the actual key here is to create some other configuration that will allow me to switch back and forth between text as you. So one thing you could do is you can switch between Baba as you and Frog as you. To just reposition things all you like from different sides. And because now you do have access to 2 characters, you can also have access to Bog if you really wanted. Indignation, Judgment, but what is Baba? Well, in a philosophical sense, Baba can be all kinds of things. Notice this. I still can't drag Win down, though, and that's something I need to fix. That I want to probably double stack Is, but I need Win to be on the right side of Is. And one way I would do that... Notice how flexible this is, by the way, that we can actually manipulate the Bog all we want now. And if we do that, then we actually have a way to probably... Because Bog as you, look at this, that because text is push by default, we can push to text all we want and create walls around it and do all kinds of neat stuff. So, whoops. So for example, you can create like a bit of a box here. Maybe. The thing we're going for is that we need to reposition in the Is that is on the right side of Win. If we can reposition that Is, then I think we're in actually pretty decent shape. So for example, let's go text as you. Baba is you. Look at that. We've got it. Except Bog is stop. That's okay. We can just disable that. Simple. And then now we are in business. Look at this. Bog is Win. So yeah, really flexible solution there. I feel like you kind of have to slam yourself against that in that later part. Let me repost the level code for anybody who came in late. That was a user submission by Silver Gold. Quite an excellent one. It's Frog in a Bog micro challenge. And so thank you for that one, Silver Gold. I don't know if that was anywhere near resembling your own clear check solution. But yeah, it is incredibly flexible in a way that feels like you kind of stumble around and guess at it a bit. But I think that just naturally comes with how flexible that is. Like, you know, to take a quick look at this again. And Indignation Judgment, I will get to number 29 in just a moment when I exit this. And Luca, welcome. And yeah, Quality Humor, the update is absolutely wild. Now, I think with a lot of the micro puzzles that you see like this that are in the main game, just to talk about the design here a little bit more, and yes, Blue Blur, this is on Nintendo Switch. It is also cross-platform compatible, so if you have a friend who makes levels on PC, for instance, they can send you the level code and you can play on Switch, or vice versa. Like, all of the level codes are completely cross-platform. To get back to this level, though, I think one of the things that the flexibility of the second half highlights is how often in the main game, whenever you have like impenetrable walls that have an outside condition tucked in some corner that the player can't manipulate, like an extra, you know, wall is wall, wall is stop, or whatever, that's on the outside, that's pretty much done to make it so that you don't have just 100% freedom with the text manipulation in the second half. I still think that the sort of block pushing puzzle of the second half is actually really interesting. It's just that it's so flexible that it did feel like I was guessing most of the time. I don't know if there's a good way to constrain that. Because in the end I was sort of thinking, okay, how do I actually use the frog? It seems like the only thing I can do with a frog is to think about how I can use multiple pieces, like Baba plus frog, to manipulate is you as flexible as possible. In the end, I actually still don't know if that's required or if it's optional. Like the way that I was using Baba plus the frog together. Given that you have access to Bog is you, like I don't know that I actually needed the frog to do everything else that I needed to do there, so. And Luca, you just discovered that you do have this game in your library. Yeah, it's one that I think a lot of people might have just picked up off Steam sales or whatever over the years. And I think you would enjoy this one very much, for sure. Anyway, let's get to Indignation Judgment's points request. And let's return to the menu. And yeah, Blue Blur, we will see you soon enough. And Quality Humor, yes, this is a fantastic game. Silver Gold says, honestly, it might be possible to reposition to win, so once you have the first half, the puzzle is just over. I don't think it holds down the puzzle. I think it's really interesting in that it, like the second half of the puzzle makes it very clear that text is you should be your objective. You don't exactly know what it's going to be for, but you do know that you'll need text as you in order to disable the stop. Maybe the second half can be simplified, but I do definitely think there should be a second half. Anyway, Indignation Judgment, let's pull up number 29 at long last. Sorry about the wait. And we'll do a quick reading. Okay, so this is going to be William Shakespeare, sonnet number 29. To the music of Baba Is You. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I enjoy, most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, happily I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. And indeed, Quality Humor, that's why I do that reward. Anyway, thank you once again for that level at Silver Gold. I'm glad the playtest was useful. And I hope to run this game every now and then. I mean, it's difficult to kind of fit it in because mostly I run Mario Maker on this stream, but I'm hoping to run this as often as possible so I can get more levels and playtests in, because the sharing mechanisms obviously in this game are not quite as well developed as the community side of Mario Maker. And so I think every playtest that people can get is going to be quite valuable. Let's get to the main bulk of what I wanted to show today, which is the New Adventures level pack. We showed off the museum level pack partially last time. I just kind of played it for a bit, didn't get that far. The museum levels were mostly cut content or demo and prototype and alpha content from the original campaign, but it's in New Adventures that we're going to see some of the new mechanics that we've already experienced in the custom levels. So I haven't looked at this yet. Let's take a look. You're pretty sure Shakespeare was playing this game when he wrote that sonnet. Yeah, I mean, you know, a surprising amount of Shakespeare actually feels like it pertains to level design. Anyway, Kiki is moved. Currently, oh, that's interesting. That Baba is you, but Baba is sleep. This is, I think, just a tutorial for the sleep mechanic. So right now, when I try to hit any kind of direction, I'm going to start over, in fact. if I hit any kind of direction, it does nothing except step forward 1 time frame. Because even though Baba is you, Baba is overridden by Baba is sleep, so I personally can't move. But when I attempt movement, it steps the time frame forward such that the Kiki is move condition on the bottom left actually advances. So that's how the sleep mechanic works. It responds to pressing directions, but it prevents you from actually moving. And then I'm sure that once this happens and we disable Baba is sleep, then we will be able to read the signage, and here we go. Welcome. These adventures showcase entirely new words and surprises. Have fun. Door is push, it's not shut, it's just push. Let's read this. Note though that these levels may assume that you know how the game works, so be warned. When I originally played this game, as some of you heard last week, I did play it up to, I think, about 180 clears or something, so which wasn't quite 100%, but which was fairly late into some of the secret worlds. And so I've seen most of the advanced mechanics, and I've been told separately that apparently that's more than enough to experience the new adventures levels. Look at all these question mark elements on the map, by the way. Those are the same question marks that were used in the orb level by Nabuz that we saw just a little earlier. Let's do this in numerical order. Here are some new friends. Okay, so we have Gigi and Fofo. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, this actually concerns me a little bit. That you have, when you have you and you have U2, you have one movement that's tied to stick and one movement that's tied to D-pad. That might be an issue, actually, because I've been using D-pad the whole time, partly because my Joy-Con stick has massive issues with drift. And so hopefully we do not experience losing the Joy-Con drift too much. So luckily right now I'm using the stick to move Fofo, I'm using D-pad to move Gigi, and I'm not running into issues, fortunately. Because I can see how that could turn into a bit of a nightmare. Because I'm not used to using stick at all in this game. Anyway, Rocka's push is pretty easy to set up. You just do it in the diagonal here, unless you need to disable it later. Water is sink. We don't want to deal with that. And now that we have Rocka's push, we do this. And then we need to get the rocks over lava. And we just need to push them in a row, I think. And if Gigi dies, I don't think that's actually a problem. Like, if Gigi dies, I can still move, right? So nobody cares if Gigi dies. It's just that I can no longer use the D-pad. Whoops. And then I need Kiki is you or U2, doesn't really matter, in order to win. Oh, okay, no, I actually do need a way to push the Kiki elements into somewhere usable. Actually, no, we can do it, I think. I mean, we can do a couple of things. We can use Kiki in conjunction with Rocka's push and just push the text down, except I still need his too. That makes sense. So, let me see here. I probably should have rethought this so we can think about the Kiki text properly. Fofo means cute in Portuguese. Interesting. Yeah, there is a pretty wide selection of localization tracks in this game, but oddly enough, I played with some of the translations, and they don't affect the elements themselves. Like, the graphical elements all remain in English, as far as I know. And I know because I thought that when I was restarting this for my second playthrough, after about 2 years off, I thought I'd try it in some other languages. And it actually makes no difference. Anyway, so let's rethink this. Because now we need to think about how we're going to reposition Kiki and Gigi. It's probably going to be by repositioning the Gigi is U2 element that is on the bottom side. So we'll do that. That instead of just going for the rock right away, we're going to use the rocks to move some of that stuff. We can also do it using is. That's... Yeah, when we eventually finish pushing the rocks up here, we can push is somehow, because then if we have a second is, then we're in really good shape in terms of... maybe. We'll have to see about that. Because I probably want something is you or is U2. Yeah, you only need one is, because you can move is over that U over there and use the cross to do a Kiki is you to close this out. And Red Dungeon, welcome. And yeah, Blue Blur, it's definitely a scam. You don't need to worry about that. You might want to be cautious about, because Blue Blur, there are definitely certain types of websites that are more likely to give you that sort of interaction. And I didn't think you were old enough to be traipsing about some of those less savory corners of the internet, let's say. Anyway, we are going to move all the rocks up. And I can probably do one additional bump. I need to get is up there, though, and I need to do that without completely disabling Gigi. Either that, or we find... you know what, we can actually push Gigi is used through... no, Isis stopped, so we can't push that. So I guess we probably don't want to kill Gigi yet. We want to... But we need to have 3 rocks. Right, so... What can I do to reposition Gigi as you? Let's see. I think that instead of going for Kiki right away, we need to probably redo some rocks here. And maybe even use... So once we're done with the rocks, we can get rid of push. Because we no longer need push over here. Which is interesting because it allows me to, for example, push the rocks out of the way, 2 rocks out of the way at least. And then communicate push over to the other side, or at least unblock this part over here with Fofo is you. Okay, let's rethink it. Because Gigi can die. But then once you get Kiki, you don't actually have access to the text down below, so... If I can figure out some way to... Oh, you know what? We can do Rock as You, maybe. Or Rock as You to... If we can think about how to reposition... Rock... We might actually be in good shape, because what that allows me to do is do like 3 rocks down here and push Gigi is U2 like all the way up top, except no, you only have 2 spots here, so never mind. And yes, menu, I am playing content from the new update. I also was playing a viewer level earlier, and so because the new update of course introduced the maker mode, and I played something first of all by Nabuz, who most of you know from Mario Maker, and then I played something by Silver Gold, who was also submitting a puzzle. So, a menu, if you play this game and if you have made anything in the new update, I'm absolutely willing to take a look. I feel like I want to... Hang on. I mean, I need rock as pushed in order to get rocks further, but is there a way that Yeah, Fofo is you starts in the corner, doesn't it? So Fofo is you is not really going to be something I can manipulate. So you can do Rocka's Push. You can do Kiki over here. This is back to how we were doing earlier. Rocka's Kiki is useless at this point. However, you can use... okay, no. If I remain alive, I could actually use a push to push Kiki down this way, if Joy-Con Drift cooperates. Gigi needs to be alive, though, and at that point I need to have destroyed 3 elements with rocks already. That's the problem right now. That I need something to push rocks down from below, such that I have access to all 3. Like, I need something here. And if I can get Kiki out, I can use the push element to get Kiki down below. The other thing I can do is I can do rock and push down here. Instead of doing rock as push, I can actually do rock as U2. Doing this, for instance. And then you can communicate rocks over the center. So for example, if you do rock as U2, you can do the sync just fine. Now the issue with that is that you need to switch back to GG because the lava is defeat, and so you can only use push to communicate the rocks over to the other side to the water. You can't actually use rock as U2 to do that. You need push. So that's probably not it. Blue Blur, the rock is not the key element. So look at this rule. This rule says water is sink. And Nugu Kaza, happy American Thanksgiving to you as well. Load up on that turkey. And Quality Humor, I totally missed the quip you had earlier where Gigi is U2 and Fofo is Nirvana. I'm not sure about that actually, because as you can see, Gigi is the one who dies early. Whereas Fofo doesn't appear to be pulling a Cobain anytime soon. So we know how to get rock down there, but rock as push seems to be better. Now, if you do rock as U2, is there a way that you can also do like rock as push down here? Here's something interesting. That if you switch... Like, the original way I did it was probably correct, but if you decide to get rock is you down below, you can actually potentially push GG. No, I think the original way I was doing it was correct. I just need to figure out the last interaction with keeping GG alive until the Kiki text is available. I'm probably missing something really obvious, given that this is like a tutorial level for this mechanic. 1 second while I do some spam filtration. Things have been a bit rough on that side recently, and thank you, Blue Blur, for letting me know. Yeah, lately the filters have not quite been working all the time. I probably don't remember something from the OG game. Yeah, I think that's right. I recently replayed like half the campaign fairly quickly, but there's something that I'm definitely misremembering. When it comes to this mechanic, I mean, yeah, the thing I was explaining earlier to Blue Blur is that we have water is sink, so any object that you use to make contact there using push or U is going to make that disappear. We can push the 3 rocks through the lava because defeat only affects U. Defeat doesn't affect push. There probably is something I'm missing on top of that. Because right now I'm thinking that, like, the thing that it's naturally kind of suggesting is pushing 3 rocks over. Quality humor, I would prefer not to accept hints. Usually if I'm stuck, I'll actually ask specific questions, like, whether something is worth trying if I've been trying something really janky for the past long while. But yeah, there might be something I don't remember from the main game in terms of the Kiki text. Because right now I'm thinking this. The interesting thing is that if you get all this through, then you can actually still use the push text. No, you can't, because you need rock as push. There might be something I don't remember, yes. Audio went away. Yeah, Calvic, thank you for letting me know that. It's been extremely glitchy on my stream lately. I'll see if I can fix that. And I hope you're doing well as well. I played the museum last week, and I played a bunch of custom levels where I realized I don't actually know that many of the new mechanics yet, so it's only today that I've started new adventures. Okay, just one moment while I try to fix this up. And Nugukaza, you were saying earlier about Thanksgiving that you were having non-traditional food. So is it Kaizo food or is it troll food? That's the question. Okay, so GG is you. We can probably do... Like I was saying earlier, I was considering doing Rock as you too, but I couldn't find a way to get push across. And of course, Rock is going to run into Lava is defeat if you try to do that. The other thing is that there is probably something I can do with the... I keep thinking in terms of like the prison mechanic, if you know what I mean. Like, we can figure out some way to do the GG push over here. We're in good shape. The other thing I can do is I can actually reposition Fofo and set up Fofo is push, because I'm still able to interact with the level. Like, if I reposition you completely, for some reason, I'm not saying I'll do that, I'm just saying that if I wanted to do that, I still have access to the level somehow. But I don't see that that's going to be useful, so probably not. Anyway, GG can die against the defeats. This reminds me, oddly, of the lava level in the main game that has the hand moving back and forth. If you know which one I'm talking about, like the hand in a wall. But I don't remember that one either, so that might not help. Well, anyway, we know how to get access to the Kiki text. We will not have rocks at that point. What we can do, actually, is find some way to push enough elements to create GG as U2. Like, if we can find enough of a stack, like a 3-object stack, to push into this position such that Kiki is U2, then we might be good. But right now, though, this gap is a big problem. This gap right here. And this one reminds me of one of the early ones. Yeah, it's almost certainly something like really, really obvious that I'm missing. Rock is no longer push. If I just kill Fofo, is there a reason to do that? Probably not. Although, if you kill Fofo, you can still use rocks. Maybe. I mean, not in this state of the level, obviously, but... So, supposing that we get down to the Kiki text. Notice that the Kiki text, if you decide to pull it out this way, is always going to be tucked into this position. And so unless you have some additional elements that allow you to push from below, the Kiki text is only ever going to go down like that. Interesting thing is that you can actually push it into the outer zone using push. The problem is that, of course, you... oh, you know what? Just kill him. Just kill him. That's done. I was kind of instinctively recoiling from killing Fofo by running into the lava, forgetting that if I'm setting up U2 anyway, that's done. That was simple. Let's do a musical interlude. That's how this game often goes, by the way, that I tend to miss something really, really obvious because it gets you into the habit of trying to look for something contrived. Musical interlude. Okay, so we have lots of instruments on the right. I guess this is almost kind of a tutorial mechanic for how everything is going to go. Notice how you have letters representing notes that seem to be cycled through the shift interaction. So if you set up a belt to shift, actually belt to shift is already in there. If you step through time and just by hitting the A button, then the drums are going to play drum, hi-hat, and box. Box will somehow have a sound. They're going to play in sequence. And it's going to be a continuous loop of 3. Saxophone is going to play in order A, C, E. That's just going to be a minor triad once every 2 pulses. The piano is going to play C, A, B, C, E, D. Yeah. So we think about this in minor. Okay, let's listen to it. Okay, music makers, you can definitely go nuts with this. Notice how everybody's just sort of paying attention to the concert too, until you decide to leave. However, you can manipulate this to do some other things. So for example, let's say we get the flag to be one of our instruments. Text on belt is not push, and that's important actually. Oh, I see, because that's how you get the text to cycle through all of this without any kind of interference on the outside. However, if you manipulate this, then what you can do is you can actually step in there and change some of the notes around. If we want to do that somehow. We also shifted this B off the belt, and the E and the C off the belt. Let's go back. And yeah, Quality Humor, that's exactly how it was. So Quality Humor, when I originally played the game in 2019, like I said, I got up to like 180 something clears, I think, and then I wrote down the titles of the levels that I was stuck on, and I never went back to them, except now that I recently kind of did a quick second playthrough to review some of the mechanics. Oh, that's what the flag sounds like. Now that I've reviewed some of the mechanics, when I went back to some of the levels that I couldn't originally beat, some of which were patched and some of which kind of remained in place, a few of them I took down in 5 minutes as well. And those were the ones that got me completely stuck in the original game. So in some cases it was due to patching, not in all cases though. Anyway. It's basically a bit of a music tutorial. Interesting tile is stop. Yeah, okay, that's just the aesthetic design there. We'll do things in numerical order before we proceed into some of the worlds, I guess. Also worth looking always at the world map itself to see if there are any meta rules in play, but none that we know of yet, so let's just go to Who Is It? It's your train game. Yeah, it's good for short sessions for sure. I mean, despite the length of some of the puzzles, it's one where, you know, it makes so much sense to just kind of step away and suspend the system when you're changing stations or what have you. And anyway, I is defeat. It is a new mechanic, I think. And the arrow follow it. Okay, so notice how the arrow facing direction is pointing to me, but it points to me within a certain range. So, for example, if I go down, these top two arrows point down first. So it seems like there is a follow range that activates the arrows. Like if I'm starting to go right all the way over here, it takes... I think it's activated by a few consecutive steps. Like you need a few consecutive steps within a certain range to do this. Oh, no, okay, I see. I haven't read the facing mechanics up here. Eye facing it is move. So I think the idea is that if the eye sees you, it kills you, like that. Yeah, exactly. Notice how the eye facing graphic is also designated by the position of the eyeball inside. Oh yeah, it is just the name of this character, by the way. One time you took the train deep into Sweden, so you should have gotten far in those 4 hours. But the train had no air condition. Did it have a wind condition, though? Or a clear condition? You know what? We can always just do arrow as you and just... Oh, eye facing arrow is move. That prevents that. Because you have 4 arrows and you have 5 eyes. Like the 5 eyes intelligence sharing agreement. Which will just kill you. Yeah, so you can't just transform into the arrows, or you can, but then you would need to switch back to it is you somehow. You only have access to one that's actively on the board in terms of doing anything with that. You can do I follow arrow, and I mean, then the eyes will just all point to the right. And then you just walk around the one that is here, right? Whoa. How do I get this guy to get out, though? What if I... Can I actually push the it text? Okay, no. We need to do something about this guy. Because it's within a 1-tile range that it is activated by move. Oh, because of eye facing it. So eye facing it is move is the thing that is disabling me right now. What we can do is we can do arrow is you to move the arrows into a different position, and then we do I follow arrow. So what we'll do is we need to find a position that will work for everything. Previously we had... you know what? We're going to do it like... No, we need to do it this way. Okay, I was hoping to do eye facing... Or rather, I follow arrow and arrow as you at once, but the positioning will not work, so... You don't want things facing upwards completely because of them interfering with the flag. You also can't have the top one pointing down. What if, however, you have like a nearest neighbor where you have one arrow, whoops, that you just kind of tuck up top? And then you have other arrows that are placed on the bottom like that. So you, whoops, want one up top. You want another one like over here. And then probably down like that. I don't know if it'll work, but... Oh, you need one arrow to kind of punch this back into It Is You. So you have to lock this in position. A little bit sloppy. I don't know if that's going to work at all. Let's... and then you need I follow arrow. Actually, yeah. Or you can just have arrow is you and I follow it the whole time and position it in a location that doesn't matter. I actually like that idea much better. Let's just go arrow is you and the move, whoops, probably shouldn't matter too much. Oh, except that guy's gonna get a squeeze on you like that. Okay, no. Positionally, that will not quite work. And yes, Donkeyman, that in fact is a true statement. Last time I checked. Oh, here's, by the way, something really interesting. Notice how follow doesn't have a background. Okay, no, that's still only a verb, though. Always worth checking stuff like that. Whether something is only going to be a verb. Because this game can play tricks on your tunnel vision. Anyway, yeah, we need to reposition the arrows and then just do It Is You. I don't like that. We need an arrow up here to reposition this eye. And the eye on the top left is still a problem. So, let's see. But ultimately we do want I follow arrow. Okay, no, because we need to set up I follow arrow first to reposition the eyes. Okay, that's fine then. Now we're actually in good shape. Yep. And that's a win. And yeah, one true condition here, of course, is that Mang is still Mang, as most of you are aware. Here's a simple maze. Let's take a look. Okay. Flag is a win. Here's a 3D mechanic. 3D seems like it's only pushable into Baba is 3D, and then 3D. Oh, because we're facing this 3D block like this. Except, do I still have Is You active then? I do still have Is You active. So this is basically Doom. Yeah, so I actually was spoiled on this mechanic because I played one of the custom levels last week that used 3D and I was completely disoriented. But the idea is that I think you need to... Like, if your Baba is 3D, the Is You condition somehow remains in place, and you just need to walk around a fire until you get to the flag. So it's going to be left turn, 2 right turns, walk around a fire, I guess. So. Left turn, 2 right turns. Kind of have to take it one tile at a time. And not get totally disoriented the way I am doing. Yeah, just have to tap the D-pad gently and pay attention to where you're going. I think this might be totally wrong. Am I lost already? Yes, I am. However, the ground tiles here are interesting. because they give you a bit of guidance, like you can see the bricks. Yeah, you can also turn right. Go left at the first flame. Left, right, left, left. And then just hug the left side wall from there. Actually, no, you can just turn right and then hug the left side wall. That's how we'll do it. Whoops. I hit the fire. And that was defeat. If you have any experience with real-life hedge mazes, this is useful. Oh, was there a stop condition that I didn't know about here? Hang on. Wall is stop. Flag is stop. Oh, we need to disable flag is stop before we can do that. That's fine. I know how to do that. We just need to cross at the first fire on the bottom. We push is, then we get out of there. I think I know how to do that. Let's... wait, hang on. Let's look at this once again. Yeah, let's go like that. Maintaining a sense of which direction I'm heading in is probably useful. I'm heading east. We see is. We push is, it's disabled. And let's just go backwards. Oh, the flag is over there. Whoops. I have to tap gently. And there we are. Here's another simple maze. Okay, Baba is you. Tile and foot is stop. This is like the Monty Python foot over here. Tile and foot is stop though, so... we don't have access to any of that until... well, what can we do? If Baba is 3D, how does that interact with stop? It interacts with stopped in the normal way. However... well, what can we actually do with that, though, if we use 3D? If tile and foot is stopped, then why would 3D manipulate that? I think you have to go through the maze like, whoa. Oh, that's interesting. So you can go through some of this stuff. And... yeah, because you need tile and foot to be active at the same time. However, you don't know where that's going to be the case. So that's an open location somehow. And I don't know why. Oh, because, yeah, when you are in 3D mode, you can see whether tile and foot are both overlapping or not. And so you should be able to see spots like the one earlier where the overlap existed. Yeah, you should be able to see stuff like this and follow the maze like this. So for example, if you do this and hug the wall, watch the left side, like you push 3D, go left, 2, 3, 4. You go 4 blocks to the right, you should be able to see where the clear passage is. And then eventually you need to follow the maze to push is, or you could just do this and cheese it without actually engaging with the 3D mechanic. There we go. However, if you do Baba is 3D, then what do you do with is win? That's a good question. Well, you just do Baba is win. So before we do that, let's take a look at this 3D thing just to engage with the mechanic for a moment and show you how it looks. So yeah, you can see the open positions like this. You can't really go backwards, so you have to spin all the way around. But here you can see where the tile and the foot do not overlap because it's only a single element instead of an overlap between the two. So this is how you're actually supposed to do it. And yeah, surprisingly playable. And we get out and we push the win condition, and there we are. Okay, number 6, Colorful Cavern. Okay, gem is red and orange and yellow and lime and cyan and pink. Yeah, the color mechanic is new. We do know about it because, of course, that was the basis of the red and blue switching level that we saw from Naboo's earlier on. Yeah, let's not touch that. Does that affect both? No, because these shrooms are fungus singular, it seems. And yeah, we actually know that from the base game that this is a singular fungus. Anyway, the gem is going to rotate between the rainbow. That I actually knew from one of the custom levels last week too, I think. Cliff is cliff. Cliff is stop. That can't really be manipulated. We can do gem as you if we really wanted. And we can also do probably something else with... Well, I mean, why would you want to do gem as you? Gem as you would just run into the same problem, right? But then the idea is that you would want to do something with the color mechanic to probably push win into the playable area. Actually, no. No, you don't. You don't need to do anything like that. What you need to do is you just need, like, something is win. You have so many elements to work with here that you can just use them to do some kind of big push through center. As long as you have a way to do gem as you, right? Because then you can just take a whole bunch of elements and push them back out. So for example, like, it doesn't really even matter what we push. We can just eventually position everything such that gem is you and Baba is you creates a corner. So, let's see how we can do this a little more easily. Yeah, so we create a corner with gem is and Baba is, but we need to push down a little further, so let's back up. Now, and then does the gem allow me to push win properly? I feel like it's going to get into a bit of a traffic jam down below, actually, so it might not work the way I want it to work. Because the idea is that I want, whoops, win to get pushed back out by pushing elements down and through. Yeah, because you just stack elements in this corner, push them all out this way. Then Baba can just cycle through and Oh, I accidentally pushed Gem as you. Okay, no, hang on. Let's do this. Much more sensible. And then we'll just do a little bit of repositioning. Hang on. How many spaces do I want? I want Baba 2 spaces. To the right. Oh, and I need more elements. Hang on. Let's just stack and stack and stack. And Pancake Stack Overflow, welcome. That's a fantastic handle, by the way. Pancake Stack Overflow. Oh, so we accidentally pushed the end. Well, I wasn't paying attention. Whoops. Yeah, let's just push orange that way. And let's reposition Baba a little bit. I probably don't need everything here, but we'll grab enough that I can have something to work with. And, whoops. Hang on. Oh, except now I'm way out of position now. Yeah, I shouldn't have tucked Gem as you into such an easily manipulated corner. I feel like I should just move everything a little bit. Just to get it out of the way. That's much more comfortable, in fact. Also, I tucked Win into a corner. That's a bad idea. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, just a little bit of repositioning here and there. You have a couple of levels that you made using the editor's beta. Yeah, do feel free to send me a code. I'm perfectly willing to switch to your level as soon as I'm done with this one. I've been switching pretty casually between campaign levels and viewer submissions, so... Anyway, we want eventually enough of a stack down below that will reposition Win completely. Using like 4 elements or so to push. A little bit fussy to set up, but we'll get it once I fix some of my movement. So we've got 4 over here. Yeah, I mean, if we move some things out of the way, that's probably going to be plenty. Like, we can probably max out with 6 and still have enough room to manipulate other objects. Whoops. Yeah, actually, that's as far as I can go. With 5. Don't know if I actually need this much. But we'll do it. So now we set up Win. And just push it through, I'm sure. Let's just clean up some things around here. I'll need enough room to send it up the shaft. That's not going to be it, actually. I didn't think about this corner. That was a lot of work to realize that I can't get around a corner. No, this is fine, actually, because we need to push everything in such a way that it says Gem is something and something and something and Win. Like, we just need to create... So the order actually does matter. I should have fixed this earlier. We just needed to say, in the end, Gem is something and something and something and win. So we just need to reposition everything once again. And pay attention this time. So I wonder if it's easier to just restart at this point, but... And yeah, thanks for the code. We'll look at that next if I can. It's easier to restart. We pushed so many objects through. So here's how it's going to work. Let's save gem as U until we've done the stack, because then we don't spend so much time doing constant repositioning. We just need everything and the win, so we'll snip off one color at the end. This is actually really easy. It's just doing the initial position and paying attention. And yeah, there we go. And then we know how to get and wind into that position. So gem is U, we reposition win. And then lock the gem over to the right side, pop off gem is U. Simple. Took way too long considering. Oh no, we don't want gem over there, we want Baba. Which actually means I have too many ands. I need to knock one of those off. Yeah, because I want... I mean, you can have gem is U and is everything else. But then that means that our positioning is off by 1. Like, we need something slightly different here. You know what? That's easy to do. We do the classic repositioning move that is always useful in this game, which is just we swap. No, we can't because the gem is all the way over there. No, that's fine. We... go like this. And then we need to figure out this number here. And yeah, Blue Blur, I told you it was a scam. No reason to doubt us in that score. Well, if we push win into that position, we don't need to do that. We could have just pushed gem is on the bottom somehow. Yeah, once you push win into this position, gem is at the bottom of the stack. You know what? Okay, no, let's actually do this a sensible way. Let's not be silly. This is the only position that win is going to occupy. Can we do gem as U and win? We can do Baba as U and... Whoops. Yeah, we create this whole and stack down here. Oh, right, because that was what was getting me into the even and odd issue earlier. That I totally miscounted. Okay, unless we find a way to move win up by 1 slot, which in that corner doesn't quite work. However, yeah, cliff can't be manipulated. We need to rethink this. If you stack, so if you do the kind of a interchangeable Baba is U, Baba is gem, you can actually do that if you push and pull. Well, gem needs to be below. So the way I would do it is, you would have gem is, you would have Baba is, And then you have one pushing from above and one pushing from below. And so you can swap between the two all you like. Like if you have a whole stack down here. Now why would you want to do that? And swap. Oh. But yeah, let's count here. Object and object and object and object. Yeah, that's the issue. That win is just out of position by one block. But if you manage to do gem over to cross here, then you're set. Except that's not going to have you. We still need to move you into position somehow. But I feel like if you do to cross somehow, then you're able to have at least something is something and something and something and something. And then slip you into that position. Okay, no, I have it actually. Object and object and object and object. Okay, no, I know the solution. Let's reset this. Okay, so what it's going to be is that is going to be in this position here, I think. Oh, except we don't know how to move you down one spot, though. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Hang on. Is object and object and object and... Yeah, no, we know how to do it. Totally overthinking this. This is actually pretty simple. Okay. Oh, I accidentally did Baba is... Oh, or Gem is Baba. You know what? Gem is Baba actually fixes a whole bunch of things as well. Or no, it doesn't. Let's not do things like that. Let's do it properly. Okay, Gem is you. We're going to push Win into the same position as before. And then we knock this out. Okay, and then we create a stack. And Win. Now we make Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. How many objects do we need here? We need object, object, you. Yeah, that's all we need. Gem is definitely the way. So we now move Baba is you over here, and then we move Gem is you. No, we need to do it in such a way that it requires one push. So we need and thank you for the bits, and welcome to the stream. Yeah, no, we just need to do like one push, and then you have a U and Win. This is not hard. Whoops. Except I accidentally pushed a gem in a terrible position. Hang on. Alright. Let me just reposition the gem such that I can push Baba. That's an easy puzzle. Okay, Pancake Stack Overflow. We're going to exit the campaign and look at your level. Yeah, once again, just spending way too long on something that was actually pretty trivial. Okay. Oh, no, we need to type in the code. Get new levels, use level code, and as you were saying in chat earlier, YKPJ dash ZH74, and you said you created this during the beta. Perplexing Pond by that guy. Cryptic Cessation. Let's take a look. And yeah, if we do this relatively quickly, I'm also quite open to doing more. Okay, so text is word. That just means, by the way, that if you switch something to is word, then the objects behave like words. So for example, Baba can stand on top of Baba is you, and it would mean Baba is you. Currently, the only thing that is manipulating is text, however. Flag is open is... yeah, we need to just manipulate this such that flag is open and flag is a push. Well, not push. We need open to interact with shut. Text is word. Now that's interesting, because it means that any block of text, would it just be acting as itself? Interesting that we see GG over there as well. Well, in that case, I think we actually need probably 2 Babas like that. And then we use Baba is open to dispense one of them. Like that. We still need a win condition eventually, though, and to get through the win condition, we need something through the wall. Let me just restart just in case the positioning is awful. Oh, also, GG, the purpose of GG is GG followed Baba, which is on the top right corner, way out of the way. But I think this is the right idea. We are going to go... sorry, flag is Baba. We'll put flag in a position this time that can still be manipulated. We'll go Baba is open. Whoops, we'll punch this. We will now be able to manipulate this. And we'll also be able to manipulate this. So we need some way to penetrate the wall. Whoops, Joy-Con drift. The text is pushable through the water, which is important because it allows me to potentially manipulate GG. One of the things we might want to do is create GG is word. If you create GG is word, then you can use GG over here to do totally different things. Wall and door is stop. If you have an additional object that is going to work as open, then you can punch through here and get to the other door. However, if you get to the other door, yeah, that's how you potentially disable wall is stop, if you manage to break that chain somehow. Because if text is word... I mean, you can do something to... You know, you don't even need to use an open interaction. So for example, there's no door is door. So if you wanted to do like door is text, for instance, you would just have that. If you do something like text is you, text is totally allowed to be you. I will then be able to just move everything. Until, of course, we hit Baba is you. Whoops. Oh, also, we're just destroying everything, which is a bad idea, because we actually need some of these elements. We probably don't want to do text as you. However, text as you would allow you to break most things here. But it doesn't get you over to Win and... Let me try this again, actually. I want to try Texas U. Just to play around with it a bit more. Yeah, Texas U is going to be caged pretty tightly here. Partly because we don't have a good way to reposition Baba Is You, given that nothing is stopping anything else now. We destroyed the win condition. That's never good news. Oh, we destroyed the win condition because of the water. Okay, that's why you have all this positioning over here. It's so that you can't actually escape with the text before win hits the water. Or can you? Yeah, because you can do stuff like this. Baba Is You. And then we just do something is win. Actually, no, we can just do that. And then just do Baba Is Win. Except... Wait, let's... Let's rethink this, because... my positioning is off by 1. Luca... I'm... Oh, okay, yeah, that's basically what we did. We moved down with Text Is You. Yeah, we have too many elements on the bottom there that stop me from doing much with redoing Baba Is You. So we redo Baba Is You. I mean, we can just do Wall Is Win. Wall is no longer stop, so we'll just punch that in. And that should work just fine. I feel like I didn't interact with most of the mechanics in this level. Like, we skipped tons of stuff, I think. So, I mean, let's go back and look at that one more time, because I feel like that was not actually intended, but Pancake Stack Overflow, you can confirm or deny that. Let's go back to this. It is one of the valid solutions. Okay, so that's accounted for. Yeah, I mean, it's a very flexible way to do it. It did feel like I wasn't engaging with the stuff like GG, though. So I don't know what other solutions you had in mind. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities I could think of. I don't really know what GG's direction in terms of the follow Baba mechanic actually does. I was considering, of course, pushing some kind of text into GG, like using GG as word in order to set up something secondary with GG. Like you push is word onto the top right corner and then use GG to manipulate something else. Yeah, obviously, I mean, just disabling wall is stop is the main thing that you have to do at some point, and so I guess the thing that made it possible was partly that we got rid of the door as well, because yeah, okay, no, I see, because if you do Text Is You and then you move down, then wall and, so even if the door is up top, you would break wall and door stop because door would remain above the object door, right? But anyway, that was one solution. Pancake Stack Overflow, I'm perfectly willing to look at some more if you have some other codes. We can do one or two more from you since you're here. And then we can dip back into the adventure. I don't know if there's a better way to do this than to go one level at a time. I guess there is no way to browse makers because everything is just stored by level. But I'm glad we can have the amount of interaction that we've been able to show off. Domestication. Friends, not food. Does it involve fish, I wonder? Oh look, it's going to involve cats eating birds. I have actually not seen the eat mechanic or the fear mechanic, So this is going to be new stuff for me. Yeah, okay, fear is, it runs away, so... It runs away within a one-tile range, so it's kind of like a one-tile gap on a push. That's interesting, actually, that it works pretty much exactly like a push. Except if you kind of come in through a perpendicular, it also pushes one tile. So if you get within the one-tile range, then that's what happens. Cat eats bird, and that just destroys it. Anyway, let's actually look at win conditions. Bird is not you. I mean, that can theoretically be manipulated. Not is not going to be able to push anywhere. But you're able to fish out a bird and an is. What happens if a bird fears itself? Probably nothing. Like if you do that. It's a cat eat bird world. Tile is stopped, so you can't go through here. Okay. So we need to find some way to probably disable or manipulate the cat-eat-bird interaction, unless there's something I don't understand about the eats mechanics, so... We can't move not. Bird fear cat. Bird is win. We can disable fear. Cat eat bird is placed in such a way that so long as the pipe and the tile remain in place, we can't actually move this text because it's based on a corner. However, you can do cat is bird. Problem is that you can't do bird as you, so that would not actually give you the condition that you're looking for. Actually, you can do bird as you, maybe. No, you can't, because if you do is you over here, bird can't actually be pushed into this location because it starts out on the left side. So what happens... Well, no, cat eat bird, that just destroys it outright. I wonder if you can use fear to push the text somehow, in fact. Anyway, what do we know so far? We know that the bird can stop being afraid. We know that we have access to is and not... No, we have access to is, but we don't have access to bird outside of this location. Or rather, inside of this location. We can move bird outside of the box. Not has to stay in the box. We don't know how to move this stuff, but there's room under cat to do cat is. So for example, if you do cat is bird, you might be able to do something with this stuff here. Disable bird is not you. Yeah, you can push the bird. If you push the bird, I wonder if there is something else you can do to get a bit creative about its position. That does overlap. I wonder if you can do something here to do that repositioning that allows you to pull the sentence out from the wall and basically split it. Because ideally you'd want to set up like bird as you to match bird as win, because bird as win looks like it cannot be manipulated. Now the interesting thing, of course, is that with fear you can do the perpendicular. Is there a reason to do the perpendicular? I don't see it just yet, unless there's a way to push the bird text like into a central position. And 430 and 43.99 do it, brother. Welcome. I should actually read names a little more accurately today. Okay, it looks like if you do this, then you can actually push not if you figure out how to do bird as you, or figure out some other way to get bird fear to manipulate things in a way you would like. Interestingly enough, if you get... I bet you could do like bird fear not cat. And the bird would just run away from everything that's not the cat. Like running away from text or something like that. What can we manipulate? And maybe there's something to the eat mechanic that I also don't know because I haven't seen it before. But it looks like it's just straight up destroying it. So let's think about this. Ideally, I want to go for bird as you. And that requires me to push bird away from the wall somehow. I would also think about whether we can do anything else with the text here. Fear looks like it's only going to be acting as a verb, but we might as well check. Yeah. Cat is fear. Bird is cat. Cat is bird. If you do bird as cat, you would not be able to hit the win condition, so that will not likely be the solution. You can do some kind of is you, but once again, once you push an object out of here, you can't really get it back into this box on the right. So long as you have a pipe is stop and tile is stop remain active, and they look like they're kind of hard-coded into their respective zones. Aesthetically, the pipe layout here is actually kind of nice. It reminds me of Factorio. You know, when you're setting up oil wells and everything, and running underground pipes everywhere. I feel like if we use the fear mechanic, we might be able to get the bird to push something from like an overlap. Or, well, no, if it's standing on something, it wouldn't do that. Let's see. If bird fears cat. And let me just test this out. Let's say we push bird over here. Fear interaction, does it push to text? Yes, it does. But then you can push on top. Like that. Now, does the bird escape from the text as we would assume? Yes, it does. If the text is against the wall, no, that would do the same thing. And because movement is always resolved first. What happened to bird fears bird? I did try that. If bird fears bird, then... Well, I mean, you'd have to transform into a bird first in order to do anything. And I can't do bird as you right now, so... Doesn't look like that's useful yet. Now, oddly enough, if the bird is the word, the bird would just stand here and you would have bird as you. Unfortunately here, the bird is not the word. That would just be Far too convenient. So you can do a second cat, no you can't. But you can do probably some kind of knot. Like, you know, manipulate knot somehow. If I can pull knot out of there. So for example, by positioning the bird. And then I wouldn't really be able to do fear with it. I mean, we know that a bird is not a cat or whatever, but I wondered if I could fill the bird with self-dread. Yeah, I was hoping so too. I mean, if you transform into a second bird, then yeah, you would actually just be able to move two birds at once, kill them both with one stone, but also have them push away from each other such that they don't overlap, I think. Looks like that's something you could do. Well, there's something to the fear mechanic that I don't know about yet. There's the perpendicular movements. Oh, look, it no longer fears me because it has no place to go. I need to think about whether there's anything else that's possible with the text manipulation over here, because if you place something over here, like maybe place the cat over here somehow, and then have a way to push the knot out. How would you do that, though? The way you would do that is you would have to have the bird push knot down as you're tucking away in this corner. Then you push knot this way. One thing I should think about is how to disable cat eat bird. Because if I figure out how to disable cat eat bird, then I get on top of it. Also, the title of the level is, or the subtitle was like friends, not food, right? So I think the idea should actually be that I take out cat eat bird. Yeah. So I can change the cat into something else, but the issue, of course, is that I would need something else to be you. I wonder if there's any other kind of chaining that I can do with any of these mechanics. So, how else can we disable eat? We can find some way to do that split I was talking about, perhaps. Well, let's see. I mean, text is pushed by default, so we'll not really be able to do much here. In terms of pushing the bird over top of the text and using fear to push it back out to split the text. We can figure out how to split cat eat bird, and perhaps we're in business, but it is a cat eat bird world. I mean, what happens when we just turn the bird into a second cat? Well, then we no longer have bird as win, but what if we do that, but then find a way to... Ah, no, this is how to do it, this is how to do it. Then we can switch one cat back to bird. We'd have to switch them both back, though. I wonder if fear not works, because then it would be afraid of everything that's... Yeah, it totally works. And the bird would be afraid of absolutely everything that's not the cat. The problem is that we only have one object type that is available to me anymore, so... And nothing is moving, so nothing's going to push the bird automatically. No, not is only going to manipulate one object. We don't have access to any more is, do we? Oh, because I already pushed this. Yeah, because we could have actually done like a not... We could have done like not cat is bird. Pipe is pipe prevents you from breaking stuff too much with that, but... yeah. And also because... Okay, let me just show that off again. So let's go bird is cat again for some reason. Let's push not. And then we can do like not cat is bird. I feel like that is going to manipulate text as well, because there's no text as text. No, it doesn't actually. Oh, we changed the pipe. Yeah, so not doesn't affect text. That's important. I should remember that from the main game, in fact. Now we can disable cat eat bird, I think. Because if we go back to bird fear cat, well, we have access to a bird now, so we'll do this. It's going to push. And then we disable the fear, and then we touch the bird and we win. Okay, that was pretty satisfying. Really nice touch with the pipe in the corner. Let me just show you this once again. So the trick to this is to think about how to use the fact that pipe is pipe, but there's no tile is tile. And so the thing I should have noticed was how to manipulate tile. And it didn't come together until I could fish not out of here. Until I could get not, I didn't actually have a way to make tile become anything. But once I could use not cat is bird, then everything came together pretty quickly, so... Thank you for that, Pancake Stack Overflow. It took way too long to do that one too, but I'm a little bit rusty. And so yeah, let me know if you have anything else. Otherwise, we'll switch back to the campaign. I'll probably be on for another half an hour to an hour, possibly more. And so we still have lots of Baba worth doing. Sure, let's do one more from you today, and then I might go back to do more campaign content after that, but we'll see how we're doing for time. And Pito Gio, if I'm reading that correctly, yeah, send me a code. I'll do yours after I've done this third one from Pancake Stack Overflow. Oh, I do need to dash. I found this out last time. And this is going to be Torrid. Are you heat-proof? And yeah, sure, I'll grab that code after I'm done with this one. When I'm running Mario Maker, I usually run like a queue management bot, but I didn't think there would be too much of an audience for this, so I am just doing things casually. And taking levels as they come in. Okay, we've got lots of stuff. I've actually not seen Without before. I think Without was also something that was new introduced in this patch. It would just be the opposite of With. Or... wall without door is empty. So, Wall without door is empty. I actually don't know what the semantics of without would be, but I guess we'll figure that out over the course of this level. Flag is float currently. You would need to disable flag is float in order to touch it for the win. Door is shut, text is melt. Text is melt means that you can't push text across lava. Key has key means that if you spend a key, you get another key to replace it. We'll probably want to replace it with something else. Also notice that has cannot be pushed out of this position. Has is only going to be valid in this row. What you could do, however, is you can do like key has something or something has something else horizontally. It's just that has is not going to be very flexible. And pushing anything into the top row here is going to be a bit of a one-way interaction. Rock is push. I mean, you can do rock has key. If oh wait, let's actually read some of the other conditions first. Rock is melt. So if you do this, rock dies, but you can do rock is key or has key. Problem with that? Okay, no, Baba can walk over lava just fine, so yeah, we'll do rock as key. And then we'll do rock as push, and then we can manipulate is push to create key as push. Without is tutorialized pretty well in New Adventures. Yeah, I saw New Adventures for the first time today, and I'm only a few stages in. So there's a lot of new stuff that I don't know about yet. We'll learn it on the fly, and I've had to do that with a couple of the New Adventures mechanics already. Baba is melt, so if Baba is melt is activated, I can no longer cross the lava, and that's important to know. So it looks like this is going to be one of the final interactions that we deal with here. And Baba is positioned in such a way that Baba will not really be able to do has, unless, of course, I... Oh yeah, because text is melt. Text is melt, so I can't do that. Wall without door is empty. Wall without door. I guess we would want to do something to empty out the walls? I don't know. So we do need to do this. We need to push and enter here in order to disable flag as float. Wait, where was a wall? I mean, the only wall text or wall rules that I've seen so far are just in the bottom left over here. I would assume that these tiles are empty. These are brick or something like that. So if wall without door is empty, then... Oh, or are these just cliffs or something? Oh yeah, no, these are cliffs. These are not walls. These are cliffs. So the walls could have been anywhere, actually. If we restart... Oh, okay, wall is over here. That's really important because... Oh, I think I understand without. If you disable this door, then I think this wall should disappear. Let's watch that interaction carefully. Because I think it is, once you remove all doors from the level, then the wall empties out. Let me see if that's actually the case. And they blocked off Baba, yeah. Because now that allows you to do something else to move Baba is you up. If you have some kind of existing text here and you destroy Baba in Baba is you... Well, text is melt, so that's not going to be it, but... it seems like that might have some potential. I actually should have done a second has there, I think. Like, key is push. Is there anything that I can manipulate that will give me key has something else? I don't think so. And I don't think I can access anything with the rules in the bottom left either, because Cliff is totally locked off. But anyway, this is important then. We know that activating the door is going to remove this wall over here. Why is that important? Because until you go through the door and do all that, Bubba is able to walk around here. Now, this gets disabled later on. You think you've got the solution? Yeah, congratulations. And if you want to play this one, I don't know if you were here when Pancake Stack Overflow just posted code right when you came in. I think you were. But you can try that solution out for yourself. So you have key is push. Key is push unlocks the wall. Wall empties out. Interestingly enough, if you have something overlapping with the wall, then empty, but also empty that out. But the question is there something else that we can do to manipulate the wall without door condition? And why would I want to do this? Because if text is not melt, well, no, text is always going to be melt, so that's not going to be it. But you're able to destroy text using the lava going this way. I was hoping to grab has somehow. That's the thing that's important here. Well, you have access to pushing Bubba from above. Bubba is you, gets pushed from above. What does that get me? Why would I want to push Bubba is you from above? Only if I want to manipulate something else going down this way. But I don't see that that's going to happen to anything except his push. Unless you want to do like some kind of Bubba is, I mean, if you do Bubba is push, that's not going to be that interesting. Yeah, time to open Bubba, pretty much. And you got it? Yeah, congratulations on seeing it. So, if you do Bubba is melt, and the only thing that is hot right now is lava, why would you want to prevent this? Because, no, text is melt. I wonder what's being prevented here by rock is melt, actually. Because there was maybe some other way to get... oh, no, rock is melt was something that was given to you at the start because that's how you get the key, yeah. Float is not going to be useful to me here. Bubba is melt prevents me from going over to the flag. Unless I do some other is you. So one thing that the wall opens up, I'm thinking about it in terms of pushing Bubba is you, and that's the wrong way to think about it. I think it should actually be about destroying text until you find some other way to do is you that would not also be destroyed by lava melting the text. Rock has key. Let's see here. I'm looking at the key interaction and thinking, is there something else I can do to manipulate has? Notice that if I haven't gone through here yet, the wall is open, but I am still personally able to walk in the lava. Well, so long as I'm Baba. Key is push is going to be necessary to pop this. You know what? No, let's not restart. Yeah, text is melt, so I guess has is as constricted to the top section here as I expected. Key is push. Yeah, I do wonder if Baba is push will do anything for me. But yeah, it's something to do with this wall. Something to do with this wall. You can destroy text going up. You can also move all this going down. But I don't see a reason to do it. You can switch rock is melt to Baba is melt. Can you turn other things into Baba? That's important. Like if you can create multiple Babas then the melt doesn't matter too much. This corner prevents you from pushing anything out though. Yeah, because now you've got this situation here. And you would need to cross over. You've only got one object right now that can be piloted, so rock has key, rock has push. Interestingly enough, notice that you can switch back to rock has push here if you want to lock yourself out. I don't see why you would want to do that. Starting state, let's show you. This is the starting state. I'm probably taking rock as push for granted. There's something else that is going on there. Also, the other thing I could have done is just, instead of doing the whole rock interaction earlier, you do this, rock is key. Okay, that's an improvement, because it means that instead of having a rock tucked away up top, I can still do rock is, and I can still manipulate it somehow. That's really important, in fact, because now we can do key as push. And we can create multiple keys. It also means that I can do key as Baba. If I do key as Baba, now that the wall is open, then I have two Babas, and Baba is melt. Should hopefully not matter. Because if I do like a has interaction, here's the problem, is that now key as Baba is you is just kind of stuck here. However, we can do the good old prison break, I think. See if I can fix my position a bit. we can do this thing here. And do the split. We don't want to do it that way, obviously. We want to do it some other way. Yeah, probably don't want to do it this way, in fact. But the fact that we can do the split is important. If we had a way to do key as you, we could have done Baba is key, and then we would just create like a series of keys. Getting over here. Actually, no. We're fine. We're fine. We're perfectly fine. We leave Baba on this side. We reposition Baba all the way like this, so Baba is right beside the flag. Easy. Advert, welcome. Good to see you here. Advert, I kind of seem to remember that you were also a big Baba enthusiast. And, yeah, no, I missed something, of course, that was just right in front of me with that one, as always. Thank you once again, Pancake Stack Overflow. Glad to play all three of yours today. 43.99 do it. I'm going to do Pito's level first because Pito asked for that a little bit earlier, but I'll be glad to hit yours right afterwards. Yeah, I was thinking I could get away with not running a Qbot today because I was thinking, okay, there can't be too many Baba makers on at this hour, but really glad to see all of you here to send me puzzles. I'll probably have to do more of the New Adventures tutorial off stream just so I can learn some more mechanics instead of waiting for stream time. But let's do another level code. This one's going to be from, I hope I did read it correctly, Pito Gio. Do correct me if that's incorrect. And this is the code. Whoops. For anyone who wants it, I'll probably just repost it in the chat, since it's been a while since that was spoken. Okay, let's save the level and play the level. Oh, Pito. Okay, I see. Frog's Journey. Okay, it's going to be another frog level after the one that was submitted to me much earlier by Silvergold. Frog's Journey. Frog is you and move. Red is defeat, water is win. Oh, read is defeat, water is win. So you and move means that the facing direction, you're going to hop 2 spots. Oh, interestingly enough, no, you don't need to. You can always just face and then tap A to move instead. Now, in terms of rule manipulation, what can we actually push? We want to not touch the reeds. We want to get to the water. And that's in the top corner. In order to do that, I think we need to hop over the reeds, don't we? Now, how do we... Let's get back to the initial state. Let me see if I can manipulate this the way I want. Yeah, we need to change the facing direction, first of all. To change the facing direction, we bounce against the wall. And then, yeah, we do a hop like that. And a hop like that. However, if we do that, then we face. And then we run into some issues. But if we manage to fix this spacing here, then I think we know what to do. So when you have 2 open spaces or more, you can just tap A. You can't really see my inputs here, but I'm using move to my advantage because if you bump against a wall, then move is going to face you in the opposite direction. Whoops. You know what? I feel like I actually sort of had a right idea there. If we manage to fix my facing direction going down low, I should be okay. Yeah, you can't actually manipulate the rules at all. And oh no, you can manipulate wind. But why would you want to do that, right? Like, yeah. If you go like this, oops, then you can push wind. That's actually really important. I think that actually is something you want to do. You'll eventually want to push it back. But that allows you to progress. Like that. Whoops. Oops. And then we need to face up somehow. Yeah. Just have to remember to rule resolution here when it comes to the order. Can we actually eventually push wind back into position here? Let's think about this. I think we can. We need to push it a little bit differently. Let's... hang on. We can't actually face up here, unfortunately, because that would require a bounce upwards. Whoops. Let's turn. Very interesting mechanic. And yeah, rule resolution here is going to get me into trouble. We can do this. Now the thing is, if we do a hop like that, yep, that's how to do it. Then we can move water as wind back into position. I believe. Whoops. Yeah, move up like that. Hang on, bump to right. So yeah, I bumped to the right in order to face left by 1 spot. I move left to jump 2 spots. And then I feel like that wind position is going to get me into a bit of trouble because wind is no longer pushable towards water. But what I can do is I can continue facing this and push wind down even lower. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah, I see what I'm ultimately going to be going for is I want wind. Hang on. Controls. Yeah, I want wind to be on this row here. And then I find some way to push it back to water, and then I reverse back to the water to go water is wind. So yeah, we just need to move wind to the right spot. Oops. No, we don't want it against a wall, ever. We do want to figure out how to move 1 spot. Let's do that. Whoops. Yeah, I want to move 1 spot to the left here. Not really a good way to... no, we can jump like this. Like, if you move to the right, move is going to move you an additional spot before the defeat rule kicks in, and so you get to manipulate it like that. And that's how you do it. I feel like that's 1 spot too far, probably, but... let's think about that. But yeah, that's a bit of a breakthrough to think about this rule here. And then we can probably, whoops, go bottom from here. Hang on, need to, whoops, manipulate my position. I feel like I needed to push Wynn over again. Like, I think I might have put it into a tricky position here in terms of what I want to do. If I can get to it from the left, which I think I can do, then that would be the appropriate way to handle that. Let's bump this. Do this. Yeah, so you just need to kind of carefully plan when to hit the direction and when to move one spot instead. Whoops. Let's move like this. Yeah, I want to go like this. Oh, except moving to the right one spot is going to get me into trouble. Moving up one spot, rather, is going to get me into trouble. Can I actually move Wynn out of this position? I think maybe this is a lost position already then. Because, no, it shouldn't be. I think I can manipulate it further. Let's go, whoops. Hang on. No, let's bump like that. This was what I'd done previously. And if you bump it from above, you hit Wynn, and I think I actually bounce back? No, maybe not. Let's see if I can explain coherently what I'm imagining. If we can do that. Whoops. No, hang on. Yeah, neither of those will work. I think this position is not what I want. I wanted Wynn to be on the bottom row. No, I don't want it to be on the bottom row. I never want it to be against a wall. What I want to do is I want to be in the bottom right zone somewhere and then push Wynn back into position. And so the way I should do it is actually to push it back in on this row proper. So let's just start over. Now that I sort of understand the mechanic of this level, and we can do this a little bit better. Yeah, because what I want to do is cycle like this. So when I'm one spot away from Wynn, I can just push up to bump it down one spot. And then what I want to do is I want to get into the bottom right and manipulate things in such a way that Wynn gets pushed back into its initial spot when I'm somewhere in this zone. And likely I will just need to push it up. Whoops. Hang on. It's too far up. I want to move it down one additional spot, maybe like this. And then move it up again. Or go around and wrap it around this corner. Yeah, no, I think I know what my path is. Oh, except, yeah, no, this was the problem. Like going over here somehow. Yep, so we can bump that. And then... No, that goes too far. What if I... Whoops. Bump this. Go like this. Yeah, notice his approach when I am coming in with a 2-tile gap. Whoops. I feel like that's going to be important. Somehow. Now we can, for instance, go like this. And figure out a bump that will allow me to go through. Maybe I'm a bit too afraid of putting it against a wall. I'm just trying to think about whether there would be an easy way to extract it. Yeah, because this position looks a little bit difficult to approach, but anyway, yeah, swapping directions is really important. Can push down. I feel like we actually want to push right somehow. Or just push up from below. You know what? I'm overthinking it. I'm definitely overthinking it. Yeah, no, we have it, we have it. No, that's too many moves. Yeah, no, I need it down below by 1. But only 1. Because the push is currently the issue. So the way we do it is we push back by 1, then we push like this. No, that's only going to push 1 spot. Push like that. No, because then I can't jump over that. Hang on. We want to push it probably all the way to the right side. And then push it up from there. So ideally I want to bump it 1 spot down. I know how to do it 1 spot down. I think we just whoops. Go like that. And then we bumped it to the right and up. Oh yeah, no, this is the problem I run into every time. This corner here. But then we just bump like this. Yeah, no, that was the whole trick. Yeah, that was the other thing I missed, was this corner here. I could actually just face down. Face down moves me 1 spot up. That was literally the only thing I was missing, I think. Whoops. Hang on. Let's see if I can... Whoops. Move this. No, we don't want to be against the wall. Again. Ever. So let's move... like that. And then I bump up 1 spot. Whoops. Except I need to get out of here now, and yeah, there we go. Whoops. Down. And then I move up like this. Bump one spot. Yeah, doing the one spot bump from against a wall is the entire trick here. That's really the whole level. We need to figure out how to bump this up gracefully by one spot. I think the way I do it is we actually bump like this first, and then go in from below. No, okay, no, that's the same issue I ran into earlier. Hang on, let's figure this out. Okay, this is a bit of a strange position to be in. Let's actually bump it up like this. And then when I come here, there we go. It's a little hard to explain verbally, I think, because you can't see what directional inputs I'm putting in. But that was pretty satisfying, and that's quite interesting. So it was all about learning how to use move in combination with being against a wall. 43.99, do it. Let's do yours. Yeah, it is a little bit difficult to put in words, but let me just go back to that one more time so I can explain to people what it was doing. So if you look at the combination of U and move, so when I do this, I'm actually pressing left. And left puts me one spot to the left, but then move bumps against the wall and puts me one spot to the right. Because my movement and the auto move resolve at the same time. So if I'm just pressing the A button to advance time, though, then move is the only thing that happens. So I'm sometimes pressing A to advance time in order to move forward by one slot. I'm sometimes also moving back and forth in order to change direction. Let me acknowledge the raid from Zankoth, by the way. Zankoth, thank you so much for dropping by. Hope everything has been okay with you, and that the stream went very, very well over at your Mario Maker program. So yeah, when I do left and right, I jump over to read, because as you can see, the movement resolves before defeat, and because I'm winding up 2 spots ahead, defeat doesn't activate on read. However, if I want to jump one spot, I have to advance time. And so the trick to this level was that if I understand that I want to push out by one spot, then for example, if I'm facing a wall above me, I push up, and then that allows me to face downwards and push one spot. And that was all it took to understand how to reposition the win. And yet we've been seeing lots of Babas today, Zankoth. Lots of custom Babas, in fact. We've been kind of doing a mix of campaign levels and viewer levels, mostly viewer levels over the last hour or so. Anyway, 43.99 Do It requested a level as well. Let's just put that one in. And that was informally kind of the next one in queue, so let me just grab that. And I'll retype the code in chat for all the new people coming in. Oh, I forgot to dash. Dash is necessary, as far as I know. I did test it a little bit last week, I think. Overlap-based destruction happens very late each turn. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, here's message text. Is this allowed? I guess we'll find out whether it is. Whatever the concept is. Mesa text, I guess. Okay, so fungi and fungus are both available. Now that's potentially interesting for reasons I'll get to, because we've seen that previously these actually refer to two different kinds of artwork. So let me show you. If you want to transform it, just watch the mushroom. That's what we do in Mario all the time. So, interesting. It does not transform the artwork. So I wonder if the pluralization actually does something if you just have multiple instances of fungus. And so Pito, is this something you're already familiar with? But anyway, we know that we can probably have some kind of open interaction here. Whoops. So yeah, we're going to use these in conjunction. This is going to be something that's critical here. And, oh, that's interesting. That turns you into text. That is not what I expected. And even the singular fungus turns you into plural fungi over here. Fungi is you. What about fungus singular is you? Let's try this. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. That it turns into text. But even if you undo it, wait. Even if you step through the undo, it preserves it as text. That's... Unless I missed something earlier that was part of this interaction. I'm just looking at this. Yeah, look at that. We reversed through the whole thing. We reversed through the whole thing, and it actually retained this as text. They altered the text to create meta text. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything like off-screen rules that I don't know about here. Off-screen rules we discovered earlier are not actually listed on the pause screen. There is some kind of hiding technique that happens that we've seen before. I haven't really played with the editor as a maker myself, so some of the mechanics are still unfamiliar to me. So that's weird. That if this transforms... These aren't hidden rules. Yeah, no, they're not. I'm just sort of thinking out loud when it comes to whatever we did earlier. So, we did this earlier. So, that's interesting. What I did was I destroyed this with open, and I did an undo. And the undo actually allows me to continue. Zankoth, you're saying with sudden music. Yeah, I don't know if my audio's been glitching in and out. It was glitching out earlier. So that's interesting, that you have meta text. What happens if I do this again? Nothing, because I no longer have an object to manipulate. So, the text... I mean, the text can be open. Let's just use that as keys, I guess, and see if we pop this. So, here's the interesting thing about the text, is that it seems like fungi here refers to itself, such that if you pop the text over here and you do fungus is open, you blow that up. Ah. You think fungus is normal text and fungi is actually a fungus meta text. Okay. Oh, I understand. I understand. Okay. Because, is it just... so, like I said, I haven't played with the editor, but is what's going on that you have just taken an actual object and replaced it with the artwork that is a text object? Is that what's going on? Because it looked like those behaved as though you just had the fungus and you replaced the artwork with the text that says fungi, right? If I understand it correctly, because you can just replace the artwork for any object that you put in, if I recall. Let me just take the flag and let's show this off again. So imagine, if I understand how this works. So you have the default artwork for fungus over here. Imagine, though, that we did this. Notice how the artwork matches. So if we do Baba is fungus, look at that. So yeah, it looks like you've just used text as the art for an object. Okay, you say that this is a text type object that is named fungus instead of text fungus. Okay. Yes, I think I understand what you mean. Like I said, I haven't really toyed around with it enough myself, but I sort of understand how you're supposed to think about this when it comes to doing that. It's sort of interesting that the level works in such a way that if you destroy this using... let me see this. If you destroy this, and you undo, you actually see the assigned artwork. And then if you do that, it makes it really clear what's going on. And then the fungus is open. Huh. Hang on. I know I saw this already, but I'm just trying to think about how it's constructed. Yeah, because interestingly enough, if it is you... So the reason this works is that because if you do fungus is you, this is not pushable right now because it's not text. Okay, I'll catch up on what you're saying, Apito, in just a second because you seem to actually understand what's going on. Now, because door is defeat is only going to affect this when fungus is you. If fungus is not you, this doesn't happen. But this is not text, so you can't push it. Once you transform it into text, then you can push all you want. Then you do this, Fungus is open. Yeah, Pito's explanation, let me just read that a little more thoroughly. It's a text type object that is named fungus instead of text fungus, which causes the game to sort of think it's a text and an object at the same time. One moment. I dropped my Joy-Con, which can't be good for it. Anyway, no, I've got it. However, the undo jank is caused by the normal fungus existing at the same time as the mesa text. When it's asked to find a fungus, it doesn't know whether it's supposed to find the mesa text or the object. Okay. Okay, I see. I see how that works. That's yeah, I guess that's just sort of this edge case in the undo implementation, where you transform something into text using the undo operation, because undoing after destroying the fungus object turns it into a mesa text because it is trying to find a fungus, and it finds the text type object that is named fungus. Right. And yeah, very curious. I didn't know that it worked like that. It's not a puzzle, but rather an experience. Yeah, no, I don't mind. Unless somebody else requested something earlier, we'll definitely just put that in and take a look at your second submission here. Whoops. Let's get new levels. I do not have 226. I was relatively close. I was a little under 200 when I originally played the game back in 2019. I didn't quite finish at the time, so for something that requires 226 to grab something conceptually that you don't want spoiled, I probably will not be doing it. But I'll save your code, actually. I will want to look at that when I eventually get 100%. I actually started a new playthrough last week when the patch came out in the base game, just to try to relearn some of the mechanics. And for anybody new here, by the way, who wants to share Baba codes, so I have a Discord channel associated with this Twitch channel that is, as with my Twitch channel, mostly for Mario Maker, but if you want to deposit codes for long-term purposes or for other Baba players, that would be a good place to do it. And I don't really have a Baba channel set up there right now, but it would be a good way to collect some things. Otherwise, I will just jot things down on my own notepad. Anyway, here's Baba is Scary. Let's take a look. And yeah, Pancake Stack Overflow, don't worry too much about sending too much. This is a pretty casual Baba hangout. I'm actually surprised that we got this many makers in today. Oh, this is using the 3D effect. Okay, so I guess you have burgers and fire, and Fofo and it are just kind of hanging out here. You can get lost in the woods, or you can get through this door. Except I don't have anything to open. I see a burger. Yeah, like I said, I haven't played New Adventure, so... Or I haven't played much of New Adventure, so I've only gotten the basics of the 3D mechanic here. And there's probably a lot more to it that I don't understand just yet with how it handles things like overlaps. Anyway. Oh, here are some objects to manipulate. Let's see if we can read them. Baba is Scary. Okay. This doesn't look like it's active right now, is it? Or... yeah, because it looks like I need to push it into position or not. Looks like I do need to push it in position, so let's activate is. So I'm Scary, what does that mean? Or I'm not even Baba, am I? It looks like I'm controlling. Ah, there's Baba. Too complex. Too complex. I've never seen that message before. Is that some kind of like memory overload thing, or is that actually a custom message? It looks like it's something custom. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, we know Baba is Scary. We know Baba can be pushed. If I pause, flag is when GG is not safe. I'm trying to remember what the safe rule even does here. Anyway, yeah, so you're controlling GG. I guess we'll push things around. Oh, the music isn't correct. Okay. Uh-oh, look. There's something on the other side. Looks like a flag is a win, and we can eventually get through the door somehow. Let's see, you can push these guys around all you want. I do have a lot of trouble navigating in this kind of 3D space. Because I saw it for the first time in one of the custom featured levels last week, and I remember I just could not navigate this stuff at all. Even though I know I'm supposed to tap like one tile at a time. There is a flag as wind behind a door, I just don't see any kind of key that will let me through. Too complex happens during situations the game suspects will get too laggy. Okay, okay. So I guess it sort of forces a halt and an undo. Sort of interesting that the undo got me into this state, though. I don't see what to do to manipulate the door, unfortunately. I don't mind a little bit of backseating for this one, since it's not so much a logic puzzle, but rather something I have to look for here in this quasi-Doom version of the Blair Witch Project, or whatever. Includes but is not limited to having more than 2,000 objects on screen and trying to transform a level into more than 50 objects. Like, transform a level as into level object? Is that what you mean by that? Well, I don't really see where to go with this, unfortunately. So $43.99 do it if you have any advice here. It might be appreciated. Oh, there's a win. You have to collect all errors. So we collected too complex. Error is the new phase. Oh, okay, okay, never mind. Alright, alright. I didn't know that. I see, okay, okay. Ah, I see. Okay, yeah, that's why you were saying the sound effect needed to function for that. I just need to face it along the right row then. And whoa. Let's see what I can do. Now, does that acknowledge any kind of completion here? Yeah, no, I didn't know what error looks like. That was new to me. Oh, it looks like we actually heard a flag sound, didn't we? Or the door sound, rather. Wow, what a sound effect at the end there. Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. We might have time for one more, so I might loop back to the code that Pito posted up above. And yeah, I saw that my sound is actually kind of getting a little off as well, like my mic has been kind of popping a bit lately, but let me know if we have any audio problems. We had sound cut out earlier, but does Bonus not have a cap on its volume? I mean, like I said, I don't know the editor mechanics myself, so it's something I should actually look into. Let's do the last code that you sent earlier. And the one that you said uses concepts I've probably already learned. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. And I'll just copy that into chat again for the benefit of anybody who missed it many messages earlier. And the pancake, we'll see if I have time for one more after this one. High quality encryption. Okay, Kiki is you. Orb is win, hedge is shut, Eisen hedge is stop, bubble is push and open. So we need to strategically push the bubbles into places in the hedge that will pop it in precisely the passages that we want and nothing else. So it's purely movement manipulation, I think. And we don't want the kikis to get stacked. So, but why wouldn't I want the kikis to get stacked? Is that going to be an issue somehow? Well, as you can see, now that the bubble is at the bottom row, we have issues pushing it through. We need to not have them totally at the bottom. However, I will need to do some unstacking here first, if that is to be the case. Yeah, ideally I'd like to create this kind of hook. Hook the bubbles up. I'd probably want to push to one spot first. Whoops. Let's do that. Push them one spot. And then, whoops. And then probably lift them. Kind of like this, except differently. Yeah, so you can do that, for instance. And then probably drag them down. And yeah, next thing you need is the top corners. Oh, that's going to be a bit of an issue. I probably didn't want to pop that, actually. I wanted to get everything through here safely. But in order to do that, they would need to go through the bottom row. You have Baba Is You fanfiction. That's very curious. Yeah, it's too bad there's no easy way to kind of subscribe to a maker in this game. Because then I can add all of you if I had the means to do so, but unfortunately, looks like we just need to do things level by level. And that's just the limitation we'll work with. I can have a passageway taking me up to the orb, but I don't know how I'll actually get there. Bubble is pushing open. I feel like I needed to sort of sandwich a bubble in order to push it up to a certain location. Yeah, no, I think I know how I should do it. I need to have one of my kikis to the right of a bubble as it gets pushed in. So the way I would do it is, for example, let's see if I can demonstrate this somehow. Might be a little tricky to explain otherwise. Oops. Like if you pushed in like this, then you have one unlock, and then you get Kiki to push through. So I want that kind of interaction, so I have a Kiki who is to the right of the next bubble. Because then I can push through the top corners. Like I need this kind of order. In order to do that, we would need to create some kind of a vertical alignment first. And I would need, once again, one Kiki to be ahead of that somehow. Like, whoops. Hang on. I need to separate these guys. Without destroying them everywhere. I may have done something slightly reversible here. No, here we go. Yeah, move that Kiki above. Move that below. And then Whoops. Yeah, no online profiles in the Baba servers. Nothing account-based. Exactly, it seems like it is just sort of entirely just level-based. And it seems like even with deletions, you can still... Like, even if you delete something off your profile, it should still be available by the code, as long as it's not reported on the server, if I understand it. At least that's from what I've seen. Okay, let's bump this like that. We want to eventually bump these, and then move everything up. And then move one of the key-keys forward. Yeah, actually that's how to do it. Except that, no, I need key to the left. And then I needed an extra key to push. Actually, so stacking keys is not a bad idea. I should, in fact, stack key. Whoops. Maybe. I feel like I am on the right track so far, though. The unofficial online catalog, okay. I didn't know about that. I mean, I have really just been as far as manually taking codes in this. I haven't quite looked at what's going on the community side, but I'm playing on Switch, so I did miss the entire beta on PC. And I was busy with so many other things, I thought, okay, so let's just wait till official release to see what this is going to be about. Yeah, I think I actually want to stack 2 keys on the top left when I do that. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't think I can ever unstack them, though. That's the main thing I'm concerned about. Yeah, so this kind of stack works. I needed to split key somehow, so I have 2 of them coming in this position, because I need one below in that bottom corner. As you can see, I do have one extraneous key right now that I'm not using. I can, in fact, do all the necessary repositioning here. Nope, not like that. Hang on. Yeah, let's just drag that way out of the way. There we go. Maybe not that far out of the way. Let's rethink this. Search for Baba is bookmark, okay. Okay, that works. Mostly. I'm too high by 1 slot. I needed to reverse that, maybe? Yeah, because I need these to be separated by 1 additional stop vertically. Let's see if I can get this to behave. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we are. Oh yeah, sorry about that. My automod is really aggressive, and still it doesn't catch everything well. Great. Sorry about the link policy there. I should have actually warned you in the chat rules. Let me permit you for 1 moment, and you can redo it. But thank you for linking the Baba is bookmark site, or attempting to. I'm sure the second attempt will actually do that properly. Doesn't Automod let you ban the links without timeout? The Nightbot implementation actually doesn't. I think the default TwitchBot does, but the default TwitchBot like conflicts with Nightbot in various interesting and creative ways. So, okay, I can't be on too much longer, but I'll try to take a look at remaining codes that we just got from some of you. So I'll look at Pancake Stack overflows, and I'll look at the meme level after that if it doesn't take too much time, but I will likely not be staying on too much longer, so no more codes after the ones that I've already received. But thank you so much, everybody who has been submitting today. You've made the stream pretty interesting and educational. And of course, I barely played any of the campaign, but that's fine. I was mostly kind of using that as a fallback in case we didn't get any submitters, but it seems like we can actually have a pretty colorful viewer level stream here in this game, so. Okay, so let me repost the code in chat just so we have it handy for anybody coming in later. What was that last letter? Oh, that was a Y, okay. You don't expect a trailer for an actual product to casually play the first 4 notes of Megalovania, yeah. That's a bit of a running joke in Mario Maker scene as well, in terms of just the amount of Megalovania attributes that you see all over the place. Anyway, here is ammunition. Baba has gun. Is that within the ESRB rating for this game? Who knows? Oh, that's an interesting rocket thing. Idle Baba make bolts. So, idle, as you can see, when you fire using the A button to step time forward. If you step time forward while not moving, then that is what activates the idle condition. And you can see that Baba is dropping a bolt when you do that. Oh, that's an interesting implementation. Okay, it's like that old battle tank game, basically. Tile without circle. Make. So, without circle is when you have expended all of your ammo, is that correct? Yeah. And then Baba is defeat once you have fired 6 shots. So there is a way to reload. Using tile without circle makes circle, probably. Yes. Because if you hit tile without circle make circle, if you click that into place, then the tiles will refill your ammunition. But then your maximum ammunition is still going to lead to the defeat condition. Desynced color cycle, yeah, I can see that by looking at Baba and looking at the artwork to the right. I think so, anyway. So idle Baba make bolts. And the bolt is something that has like a push interaction, such that if you drop the bolt, you need to push it to the right or somewhere. It looks like the bolt actually has like a move interaction in the way that we saw earlier, right? Or let's see, because I'm trying to figure out how to actually fire the bolt in the direction I want, but it seems to be bouncing. Oh, I see. Okay, no, you do 2 spaces. No. Hedge is stop, though. I would have thought that this would do something about the hedge. Oh, I see. No, you can fire a few times here. Yeah, so you can just press into the bolt and let it do its thing. There's like a bit of a recoil to it. Yeah, you step away from the bolt. I think it repels. It looks like move times 3, huh? Yeah, because with every time step. Yes, there we go. So you stand on a corner, you drop the bolt, and then you move away, because otherwise you're in the blast zone and you get caught inside the empty. I don't know what boom does, so yeah, you actually need to move outside of the blast zone because this empty is out and you get caught inside empty if you're not careful. So we need to think about doing only the shots that we need. Interesting. Yeah, I guess maybe we change the facing direction? No. Or we... Huh. Let's try to figure out how to do this one here. Hang on. I guess we need to face in this way. But I'll step like right, left, right. Yeah. Yeah, because that way I need to sort of step back and forth in order to get out of the blast zone. Like that. Except I'm out of ammo already. And I need enough ammo to reload through the center, so it is a bit of a pathing problem. And that is fairly simple to solve. It's just that we don't need to activate this one on Baba just yet. Until later. So let's... Whoops. There we go. Okay. Let's figure out how this guy... Whoops. I'm just going to move up and down, in fact. Yeah, there we go. Tile without circle makes circle. There we go. There's a full reload, and then we're going to do Baba is win by the time we're done. And the way we do that is we just fire into Baba. Just nudging up and down to do some of this. Whoops. Nope, let's not do that. Might have lost access to this. We're not careful. Oh, whoops. Too far. Nope. Yeah, trying to understand the movement here systematically has been a little difficult, but it seems like the facing direction does affect this. Move only bounces one per turn. Okay. Yeah, so we're entitled to one more shot. Whoops. Yeah, it's hard for me to sort of reverse engineer what the movement rule here actually is, but a little bit of trial and error will get that going for me. Because one thing to know to move rule, it's another to kind of intuitively play around it. Anyway, cool implementation for sure. Let's take a look at the last one, which was Pito, the meme level you mentioned earlier. And yeah, let's take a look at that. I believe this is an I, not a 1. And this will probably be the last one we have time to do. Okay, this is going to be novel. Oh, this is your Baba fan fiction. Let me once again drop the code in chat. The one shot can kill 2 hedges. Yeah. I guess if it was before any kind of a built-in explosion element, that the way the explosion works is through some kind of... I mean, it clearly takes a series of adjacencies and transforms them into empty, right? If I understand that correctly. But yeah, pretty neat mechanic. Let's take a look at this. and play it. Whoa, okay. I guess I should just read this top to bottom unless I... Oh, okay, so Baba can actually manipulate this. Oh, wait. Okay, so look at the question mark that's on the right side. Interestingly enough, if I undo, it leads me to an unwinnable condition. I don't know if this has something to do with the undo text jank that we saw earlier in the fungus level. Like if it's mechanically something similar. It's a fanfic. 1 o'clock, Baba is below tree. Baba wander on empty near Baba. Baba feeling lonely, make Baba sad. Baba feeling lonely and sad, move on road to make party. But road telly Baba to level not near. Baba not sleep, sea level. Baba sea level has cliff and lava and spike and skull. Baba has fear and fear. But Baba move on and so on Baba see Gigi. Gigi make fear and fear and fear and fear. Fear and fear and fear. No, that was only 4 fears, never mind. I think I said 5. Gigi see Baba and wonder how level has Baba. Gigi say how is you near? The question mark which transforms into Baba. Baba say, I mimic you. I mimic your wonder. Gigi fear what make Baba near. So Gigi and Baba group up. Gigi open hide door and Gigi and Baba move on to level above. Baba wonder what level above has. Buy Baba is you book 2 now. Only 21 cash. Oh, okay. The SO on is supposed to be soon. Okay, but Baba move on and soon Baba see Gigi. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. And now to figure out how you actually cleared this for the check. If it is in fact clearable in a way that I can manipulate, because I don't see anything that looks like a win. 1 on a clock is once upon a time. Okay, okay, okay. That makes sense. It can be one. Well, it has to be, of course, for you to get the upload right. I don't actually see a win element or an on-screen win condition, though. However, I don't need that because we have letters that can be manipulated. And if I can just spell the word win, and I see W's, I see I's. Do I see an N? Because if I... Yes, because we have only. With the N and only. We have some W's. Let's just clear some space if we can. Except this is a massive traffic jam now. I think the way to do this is to spell the word win and do an is win somehow. There's barely any kind of is here, actually, and I can understand why, because having an is... Oh, no, there's an is over here. Having an is would just break this like crazy. Anyway, Baba is... W. Can we find an I somewhere? Yeah, there's a say I... Let's figure out how to move this. There we go. Almost. Oh, I killed the Baba is you condition down there. Baba is Baba, yeah, we know that. We want Baba is win. Here's Baba is W. Here is Baba... Oh, there's a level here. That looks like it could break all kinds of things. Whoops. The N is in the wrong row. Let's see if we can wrap around that somehow. Whoops. I do have 2 of N. Baba is a win. There we go. What make Baba parses? Yeah, it's really interesting how flexible the parser is when it comes to the independent letters. Anyway, that is all I have time for today. Given the amount of activity here, I'm actually quite eager to be doing more Baba streams. What's the point of transforming the level? There's no world map. That's a good question. I actually have no idea what the semantics of that are. In fact, I don't think I'll step through that to try to set up level is Baba or something when there's no world map, but I am kind of curious now. Wow, is it just me or did we change the color of the title screen? That's interesting. Anyway, yeah, so thank you so much for all the codes today. Like I said, I don't exactly have a regular time slot for Baba just yet because we've just been kind of slipping it into bonus streams through the week when I'm not running one of my more regular programs like Mario Maker. But thank you for the levels, thank you for the various follows today, and if you want to drop codes in the longer term in case you can't always catch this stream, once again we do have the Discord for that, where I also post some scheduling plans week to week. And so yeah, I'll definitely look into that bookmark site, so thank you for the link. And I'm guessing that in future streams I'll probably play more of the campaign off stream, so we can make more time for viewer levels when I'm actually broadcasting. I didn't expect we would have nearly this many, so it's really nice to see so many makers here. And yeah, we'll probably do a mix of viewer levels or Discord levels for people who can't make it, and try to record more footage in the future, since it seems like this game definitely needs more streaming, I think, to kind of keep the creations nice and healthy and exposed. It changed to monochrome because novel was monochrome. Okay. Yeah, I thought it probably had something to do with that level. I didn't realize that it would affect the title screen like this. Okay, so that is going to be it. I will likely raid somebody. I usually raid people doing Mario Maker, but if we see somebody who's doing Baba, we might do that too. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks for coming by and submitting so many things to keep the stream busy and the game interesting. And until next time, fare thee well.